Good morning, everybody. How's it going? Oh, hope everyone's having a good morning. Oh, my camera's all different again because I moved it for something else. There we go. A little too big. We'll see. Okay. And we reorganized too, so I could write stuff down and still have the mic close by. So hopefully that's better. So yesterday when we left, we figured out, we left trying to figure out what in the world was going on, and we couldn't debug because we were using Rider, and it kept crashing with everything we were doing when we were trying to debug. So I eventually went to Visual Studio. It worked fine, which was nice. I was able to determine that the source of the cause was me being a big dumb dummy. I had the delegates I had created, I had them set as static, which means that they were firing on every single moving object that, when it happened, every single moving object was getting those issues, which was kind of a big dumb dummy mistake of mine, for sure. So at least we know what it is. So let's pick up where we left off and jump right in and see, like, we were in the middle of debugging the job system because we had refactored anyway. So, and we'd noticed like things worked pretty copacetically with a single person, but as we added more people, things got exponentially not great. So let's do it again. Let's start out this morning by testing with a single colonist again. And then if everything's copacetic for the first run or two, we can add a second player and kind of look for those breaking spots again. I think we got a big one with the issue with every colonist firing the job, which was a fucking big problem, but there's still issues to work through. And I didn't want to deal with that yesterday, so I didn't deal with it. So here we go. Let's go back to a single colonist. There's the game manager. There's the game manager. Huzzah. Go. Okay. Honest count 0. 00. And let's just make, I mean, I have no reason to suspect it won't be. Well, actually, we did pretty thoroughly redo the polling system. So yeah, let's start out with a single person. I mean, we went from a column-based poller to a job-based poller. So yeah, we probably want to check that out. I mean, I'd even gone so far when I was testing to do like callbacks and everything, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I was like, this is nuts. So then Visual Studio showed me, it's like, hey, it's firing for, when I started catching the exceptions and moving through, I saw that it was firing for both people at the same time, and then I was just like, then I was instantly like, oh duh, let me look at the delegates, and then sure enough, I'd made them static delegates, and I was like, oh, what an idiot. It was good times. You know, it's the little things in life that make you happy. The little things that are going to kill you. Let's try to add all these trees in here as jobs. See what we get. Okay. Well, that's not exactly what I was expecting, a wall of null refs. So let's see. Oh, I should have kept it open so I could see what was going on. Because remember, we're going from now colonist-based polling to job-based polling. So that we can actually look at the logic too when we come in. Like I'd even change these pollers yesterday to test not enumerators, to just voids to get them to work, and they were working fine. I was like, what in the world is going on here? And I'd even change this bit into a sub loop called unemployed check, and then calling as a callback to the other function, which I might still go back to anyway. I was calling the callback to assigned function, and it was doing it from there, which was like, man, that actually felt pretty boss for sure. Because if this list ever gets too big, it'll farm it off to another coroutine. Yeah, I was like, I thought I understood how coroutines work, but this is like magic. I don't understand. Why is it still running? Yeah, and there's apparently bugs with Rider just crashing with the Unity editor. Like, not only crashing the Unity editor, but crashing, locking up Rider too. So Visual Studio worked, and we'll go to it when we need to debug, I guess, is the takeaway. And then I put some new emotes out this morning from my my daughter. They'll be up in a second. They'll be up in a little bit. Hey Zach, how you doing, sir? How you feeling? Are you feeling better? Yeah, most of the time, well, I'll write in the update for most parts, but if it needs to be something that can run over multiple frames, that's what I use the coroutines for. But it turned out it wasn't the coroutines. Like, it was just my dumbness of setting the delegates as static. So it was calling on every moving object at the same time, which, yeah, was causing some problems. I am glad to hear you're feeling better. I watched your stream a little the other day, but it's hard to... We stream at the same time, so it's hard to watch you. I'm glad you're doing okay, though. Good morning. So we went from polling on the jobs to now we're polling. We're coming in, we're grabbing a list of colonists, we're checking for colonists that don't have a job, and then we put them in the unemployed colonist list. Then we loop through the jobs that are available, and we try to find a colonist that can do the job. And then, so how's this going to behave when we only have one colonist and multiple jobs? It's going to come through. It should just keep looping through, checking if a job's been created, or if a job, it only grabs if a job is not in a created state, it fucks off. Then it loops through the unemployed colonists, and then an interesting null ref for sure. And why do you follow the... Okay. Oh my goodness. There's a lot to unpack here. Okay, let's go back to trying if it works one by one. Should work. Just for repeating the testing the same way. But yeah, I'm really glad you're doing better, Zach. That is awesome. It's no good feeling no good. It sucks it happened over Ludum Dare too. You could have made something great. Dude, you could have made there's people that made VR games in Ludum Dare. So that would have been totally cool to see you do. Boop. Okay. Now if we add... What if we had 2 at once? Well, 3 at once. Should null ref? After the first? Okay. And it null refed... Last time it null refed for every job that was in there, it looked like. It was like a wall of null refs. A VR multiplayer game. You, sir, are a badass. Like, 48 hours is plenty of time to make a VR multiplayer game. It would have been amazing. Oh, because you would have done the jam. Okay. Nice. Yeah, I guess if we did the jam, I could do a lot better, because if I could just reuse code I've done before. I'm pasting in my jam. Here's the source code to Street Fighter. I think I'm going to win this jam today. Dude, that's it, Zach. VR fighting game. You got to get on that. Although that will suck because then me and like other pasty face nerds are going to be like, I'm going to lose to real MMA fighters. It's real fighting. Yeah, well, I mean, you could probably make something if you started with like UNet and you stayed like super simple, or whatever Unity's like fucking recommendation is now. But it probably wouldn't be any fun. Wouldn't be any fun. Be like, we're gonna play Pong. It's gonna be awesome. Multiplayer Pong would be pretty fun. Okay, so let's debug what in the world, what is happening here. So singly adding the jobs is fine. Let me start over just so I can get logging that's a little bit cleaner. Oh yeah, totally. I know, I'm just being a smarty pants. I ain't being a smarty pants, cause it's part of my charm. Okay, let's start at the beginning. We found a job. Job's waiting to be picked up. Oh, this was debug code I added, which I'll take out now. It was code I was checking to see if, because I was like, what the fuck's going on? Like, is it like, how's it not breaking out of the goddamn loop? This was I put in when I was trying to like be 100% sure, like, okay, in the loop, we're cutting this fucking thing out. It's like, what's going on here? I don't understand. It's all fucked. Why is it even happening? I can remove that. Okay. Signed to the Breaknecks. Signed to Kimberly. Oh, that was when I was putting debug code too. Like, this shouldn't work. Let me clean that up too while we're in here. The state was changed to ready for claim. So like a job will go from created to ready for claim in between the time the colonist grabs it, just to make sure no one else can snag it. Oh, here's where they're assigning the job. Okay. Lots of stars there. My mom told me today, you're addicted to games. I said, sure, okay, I guess I'll play 24/7 now to make that true. I don't know. Most of the time, their parents come from places of love, so try not to get too upset about it. Although, yeah, I was totally addicted to games as a kid, for sure. But, I don't know. I guess if you have to be addicted to something, video games is better than some other things, I guess. But I would call it like passion more than anything. I'm passionate about games, which is what led me down this path of trying to do this myself. Oh, it's better for my notepad. How do I sound, by the way, Zach? Is it okay? I moved the mic to be a little bit closer. Yeah. Oh, good. I know. But yeah, I mean, there's silly stuff my mom said to me when I was a kid that totally was not, I'm not going to repeat here for sure. But yeah, no, I understand. Good old moms and dads. As a parent, I'm sure I'll make those same mistakes eventually too, where I'll say stupid shit or drives my kid crazy. I'm sure I already have. Oh yeah, man. Ugh. The gallbladder stuff. Or the complications, that's... That's really hard if it's, yeah, that's not super supportive. My, when I was going through the gallbladder stuff, my wife had, like, it went on for 5 years, so there was a handful of times where she said, are you faking? And I told her no, because I would never fucking fake about that, like, but yeah, even in 5 years, a couple times she was even like, are you being serious, or are you just... Because the timing would always be impeccable. Because there was no, like, rhyme or reason to what it was. It was like, oh, I could avoid fatty food and still have it happen, so... I don't know. It sucked a little bit, but, I mean, when I look in the big picture where it's 5 years, I guess it could have been worse. Yeah, I know, I hate being sick. Morning, Larry, sir. How are you doing? Hello. How is your... What day is it today? Wednesday? How's your Wednesday going, sir? Ah! Thank you, Larry. That's awesome. And it... You really... I changed the notifications overnight, so that actually was like, what the fuck? It just... I don't know how loud it was for you, but it was like Doke screaming in my ear, and I was like, fuck. Thank you for the description, Larry. That's fucking awesome, man. Are you getting ready to stream this morning, sir? What's on your docket for today? Yeah, they got to get better at that, like poking you. Oh, they're a little bit better now when you like open the stream at the top. If you don't like instantly go into theater mode like I do, you'll see like your sub ends in like 3 days. Remember to hit the fucking button. You sack of potatoes. Oh, it doesn't say hit the button, but it says when it's running out. Because I give mine to I give my Twitch Prime sub to Quill. I know, I made it. It was like a more normal sound, but I was like, you know, I want to make it. I want to make it something more fun, and I love Dexter, so. And that's like one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Surprise, motherfucker! Sweet fries, motherfucker! Potato pie, motherfucker! You know, those kind of things. Good times. I added a sound for my overlay. So what are you doing? Oh, you're streaming in 20 minutes. What's on your agenda? Just office hours again? Are you doing anything interesting? I figured out the issue we were having yesterday was just me being stupid, which is most of the bugs are me being stupid. I had the delegate set as static, so it was firing for every single pawn was getting the call that there was a job. So I was like, why the fuck is this not working? Now we're just back to debugging like normal things. Normal stupid things I've done, not like exceptionally stupid things that are very hard to debug. And then we were trying to like debug it, and Rider there's a bug with Rider where it'll like lock up the Unity editor. So eventually I went to the Visual Studio editor, and that worked just fine, which is awesome. Very nice. I gotta hang out there sometime because I'm really. I wouldn't say I'm bad at math, because I think bad is just another term for being like you're inexperienced. And I should totally work on that skill a little bit, because I need it a lot for. Like when I was working on my space game, like the KSP kind of game with a buddy of mine, there's so much math, and I was so like, fuck, what do I do? Like, oh, it was really hard. Like the math for doing a space game is like fucking top shelf. I was like, oh my god, how do I do this? It was super duper fucking hard. I need to. If you have any good like recommendations, like if you have your own book or something I could start from, like that would be cool. Because I want to work on it. Like I know I can understand it, but I know it's gonna take a lot of effort for me to grok it in my like brain. But I know I can do it. I gotta find somewhere that it's easier for me to grok. Like I just learn differently, than a lot of people do. So she grabbed the moving job. The job set in progress. She's actually doing the moving job now. And at this, I should have paused while we're in the. Let's see, what's the job state right now? There's a guarding job. She's in progress. Okay, so the first job actually got straight up done and removed from the system. Okay, so that worked for the most part. It was the transition to the second job where we're seeing an issue. So there's probably something stupid, hopefully, that we can knock out. Pathfinding, shortest paths, etc. Yeah, I wrote the A-Star Pathfinder, so I did it, and I did it by like following a tutorial on how to do it, like not just taking the code, and I like walked through it, and at the time I understood it, but you know, now that it's been like 5 years since I wrote it, it's like, what is the H cost and the G cost and the F cost? And I was like, oh man, it takes a while to get back into. This website releases new daily problem at midnight. Otherwise, I would love to do a morning stream more. Oh, so they release like a crossword, but a math crossword. And by crossword, I just mean like a daily problem to solve. That's really cool. That's interesting. One day maybe I can be like a mathlete like that, and like let's figure out a math problem together. What is? Oh, I'm gonna say I'm gonna totally derail you. I won't. So I'm gonna not say it. I'll have to Google what graph theory is afterwards. Oh, you shut your mouth.
The mic is muted.
Sorry. Google started. I said graph, and Google's like, oh, you said my name. I'm like, no, bitch, I didn't say your name. I said graph. Learn to understand people with rocks in their mouth. Yeah, I need to make a note to Google. Google graph theory. And I'm gonna do it. Google graph theory. Boom. It's on my list today. And I promise you, I will forget it, but I will try to not forget it. Which that should count for something. Okay, so the job came through. It's a popular site. The reason why it's... Do you have a link to it? If you don't mind? Unless it's like a pay site or something. It's relatively popular because the problems are now used as interview screening, so there's a lot of interest. Oh yeah, I would totally flunk that. Like, we were in different, like, levels. Like, yeah, because I did, a couple times interviewed for Google. Like, different people would always call me. And then after, it was always, like, bullshit fucking... like think on your feet questions, and I'm like, nope, I don't do good at those. Get the fuck out of here. And it was like, I always felt like it was people trying to be better than you in the interview, and I was like, oh, fuck that, like fuck that, and fuck you guys, like get out of here. Like I know I'd be a good hire, and you don't have to. You know, it's your guys' loss being dumb, not mine. So I messed the camera with a little. I messed the camera up a little bit. I know it. There. I was like, I don't like not seeing the top of my head. That's weird. Oh, thank you. LeetCode. Oh my goodness. Larry'sLeetCode.com. Here, your family. Except if you're not family. And then we'll send the dogs after you. Where's the tab? That one? Yeah. Oh yeah, haha, that was what showed me, like, when I finally Googled, I'm like, oh, I'm running it as a static method. And I was like, I'm dumb. Nice, the LeetCode challenge. Cool, I'll have to check it out and see what they do. Like, I guess, do you think that's a good way to learn it? Like, do simple problems every day? Or maybe they're not fucking simple. Maybe it's like, if you're doing them every day, they're probably not simple. Like, let's do a DevOps challenge every day. I could do good at that, but... Math code. Learn, just get better at math. Level up my math skills a little bit. But in case I miss you when you pop off, I hope you have a good stream, sir. And thank you for the subscription. You're fucking awesome, man. I really appreciate it. I have to be careful about the subs that I throw around right now with the economy the way it is. But hopefully if we can lock up, we're going to try to lock some funding up through like the second round of like SBA loans, since we're a small business, to see if we can, you know, keep the lights on. I try not to think about it too much, but it's totally in the back of my mind. So I'm trying to be a little bit more careful with stuff that I do. Although I'm not doing a great job at it because I'm still being stupid, but it's just part of my charm. I'm trying to. So she's moving here. She's going to the right spot. Hey, Epic, how are you doing, sir? Good morning. Yeah, they're totally too abstract. Try to make everything with math. Okay, that's a reasonable way to go about it, Zach. Thank you. I'm pretty good. Thank you for asking. We figured out a problem we were having yesterday, which was just me being dumb and using a static delegate instead of a non-static delegate, which was causing all sorts of super fun issues. Nice. Awesome. Rock on. Did they just 2D spray-based tiles? Did you go tiles or are you going hexes? Because hexes make the math a little bit more interesting. Speaking of math. Okay, so the moving object here, she's moving, she's going to the place. This is her walking through. Okay, so let's see. Nice. Oh, it kind of looks like ship armor in a way. Not bad. Not bad at all. Nice work. Very fancy. Oh, nice. Well, then you look exactly like what the first person's going to think it is. So you got what you're going for. So she reached the waypoint. You reached the waypoint. Oh, the waypoint, the first waypoint. So she's going to go to the second waypoint. Okay. You reach your second waypoint. And then she's done. So she's no longer moving. And that's fine. And you should have fallen out of the move loop. Like, what are you bitching about? It sounded like you should be out of the move loop. 179. Oh, let me make the code grandpa sized. Sorry. Grandpa sized code. Computer. Computer. Let's go. Okay. 179. You fell out of it. Oh, this is just saying she fell out of the move loop because she's done, which is right. She is done. That isn't anything bad. That's a normal part of falling out of the moving process. I probably put that there just to be a little bit more verbose when we're debugging things. I have 10 tiles I made, and I made mission maps too. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, we'll have to get into that more eventually for sure. On here. Like, I did set all the tiles to be lit, so they're all driven by, you know, light now, which is nice. Like, if you turn off the... Put it here? The global light, everything gets a little dark. Which is good, because then we can do neat things with, like, sunrise and, like, sun progressing over the map and making shadows. Which will take a little bit more work, but we'll get there once we get this motherfucking base work system done. Then we can move on to other things. But this is like the crux of everything. So she fell out of the move loop. Job got set to complete. It was fine. The job step was complete of move 2. And then she'll go to the garden step. Move 2's done. Oh, job step done. Okay. Weird that it says job step done when it was trying to do. How the fuck is that happening? Why are you happening? Oh, because you set it to complete. And then it was just checking to say it was done. Okay, that it was done completely. Which is good. So I have a grate. Nice. And the grate will have fluid animation. Oh, let's check it out. Imager. Nice. Did not mean to click that. Oh, I clicked my link like an idiot. Nice. Dude, that's awesome. Very cool. Thank you for sharing. Now it's starting the gardening step. Gardening step works. No, it was me being dumb, sorry. For some reason I thought, I was like, oh, he sent in 2 links real quick. Like, one has a picture of the fluid underneath of it, like emitting light or something. It sounds like it'll totally be lit. Lit AF. Oh. Nice. Now we're gonna go garden. That job works fine. Why the fuck are you firing? Why is your move 2 firing again? Why do you even have a fucking move? That doesn't make sense. Oh, because I told her to move. I clicked the button and made her move, right? Hold on. Maybe I think that's what I did. I think I clicked on her by mistake and fucked it up. Let me go in one more time. Because I think I right-clicked and that was a problem. Sorry, I would just want to be precise. I don't want to have any things I introduced to fuck up what would normally be happening. But my little fat fingers, you know. My fat fingers got fat fingered. Dude, good for you, man. Like if Killpon put up a game on in early access in Steam, so you can do the same. Good for you, man. You can do it. You can do hard things. Top of the wood. Top of the wood. Okay, so we got the exception. Let's get done with the first job. First job done. I was a little tired, so I had to make some tea early this morning. Follow the move loop, which is right. Doing the gardening. Nope, there's another move there. Why is there another move? Why is that move happening? Let's go look at the Go Garden code. It would be Go Garden Tree. Well, you don't have to put it on early access. You don't even have to put it out at all. You could leave it unlisted, but what it lets you do is make builds and then share the game with people through Steam. Like just give somebody like a key, and then they'll be on like an early access branch. So as you push it to Steam, they can at least test out your build. It's just like it's just getting the game out there. You don't even have to have it listed as early access or anything. It can be unpublished, like what Killpon's game. And it's like whenever I sit down, I've paid for this game. I just have to set it up. So, I mean, you could also publish it with, I guess, or you could also share it with itch. But Steam is just like a given that you can. Although there's paperwork shit you have to do, like pay the money. But Killpon's also in the UK, so you know it's possible. Yeah, it's just I like itch. Itch actually has on one of my other prod games. I have the build tool set up with Butler to. Every time I would run a build in my game, it would actually call out to itch and do the itch builds and push it to itch, which is really nice. Like you can do the same with Steam, but like itch's tools were really nice. What do you mean you get buried? You get buried or burned? Oh. Please insert more Vespane gas. Go Garden Tree. See what Go Garden Tree has to say for itself. Yeah, there's no movement stuff here, so what in the goddamn motherfucking hell is happening? Buried by so many others. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean I don't think I'd ever use itch to try to like get the word out about my game. But I don't know. I think it'll be Twitch, Twitter, and you know, just word of mouth. Like if we get something going, then you know, have you guys tested and then let's you know, even if my goals are pretty austere, like if one person likes it, then I'm happy. You know, obviously there's a certain amount of people when you get it done. It's like there has to be a minimum amount of people for me to even consider it like worth finishing. But you know, if it doesn't, then maybe I'll just open source it and put it out and let people take care of it. We'll see. We'll see what happens with it. I just want to get it done so I can say I finished one of my games instead of fucking constantly going from game to game when you lose Steam, which I think is what Twitch is helping with. But I know I'm always accountable to you guys, so I gotta focus. I have to put my game face on. I have to do the hard stuff. I have to keep pushing. I have to just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. No, I feel you. Well, we do what we do for more than just people looking at it, right? Like, at least I do. I do it for myself mostly. So if, like I said, even if there's no one in chat, I'd still be here talking to myself and working on this and trying to go through it. And at the end of the day, if I get it done, then and nothing happens of it, then cool. But I guess if it happens repeatedly, I guess I could get a little bit of like a kick in the balls. But I mean, that's like the problem with you. You have your favorite spot in like a overlook of the city, and nobody knows about it, and it's amazing. And then you start telling people about it, and then other people agree it's amazing, and then before long, it's like you can't even get to your own favorite spot anymore. So it's kind of that same thing. There's so many people making games now; it's hard to really be seen. Which I guess is good and bad. Ah, sorry. My big old head. Just like they do to us. I should make bots and bury everyone. Well, you should do it. Do it. Do it, Anakin. Strike him down. Do it. Do it, Anakin. Okay, so why do you have a move there, butthead? Like, where did this come from? Where did this shit start? Your job is empty. You don't have a job right now. It says you have a fucking job right now. Okay, that could be a problem. But this job says it's assigned to you, but it is not assigned to you. And then that's it. It says the job's 15,142, so let's see. 15,142 is the new job. Well, actually, no, 15,142 is the first job? Let's see. Let's go to the beginning and check, right? They had two jobs, one at 17,142 and 15,142. The one at 17,142 got done first, I think. Let's see. No, it says she grabbed the job for 15,142. Let's look at the grid. First, let's... the tile map. This one is 15,142. Yeah, because that's on 17. So it said she... okay, so that's a fucking problem, right? She said she grabbed the job for 15,142. Okay, it said she grabbed the job for 15,142, but she worked on 17,142, and that could be a fucking problem. So let's start over and step through that a little bit. And let's see what logging we can turn down as well. Actually, let's see if collapsing stuff will make it a little bit better. I mean, collapsing stuff is cool, but then you might miss things, which is a little bit of a bummer. Yeah, she totally said she had 15,142. Did you job fire just for her? And this is a change since we introduced the change from looping through the jobs, looping through the colonists for jobs, to looping through the jobs. And it's funny that my weird race condition was just being dumb and firing events for everybody. They were all doing the same shit. Oh, this is great. This works amazing. So her destination was even, her job location was even to move to the right place. And then... yeah, how does she cut down the wrong fucking thing? How do you fuck that up? I know what I should do though. Let's see if we can do let's make the greatest war movie ever. We're gonna make Mother Nature shit its pantsuit. We're gonna have a couple seconds. We're gonna try to pause it in mid loop as well, so we can see what's going on. Actually, if we put a little, is there one we can do a little further away? See. Because I want to get two, and the picker isn't really great at the moment. I gotta take another pass at that code. So let's try. Pause and see what's going on right now. Let's take screenies. Kimberly's assigned to. She's assigned to this one. He's assigned here. And let's see. Ha! I don't have a song, but I will tell you what it is. I should add that, shouldn't I? I should. The song is this. Yeah. I might go with what Dean did and use, like, change my UI to go from using Unity to using a third-party one. It looks like it was a little bit more simple, a little bit easier to do, I think. My biggest complaint with, like, Unity editor is just it's hard to make a fucking UI that sizes right, and it doesn't look like anything they've done so far changes that yet, so. Okay, so her job is there. The global job list has, what does it have in it? It has three jobs. 25 141, 25 142, and then 26 142. So it's these two and then this last one. So what I'll do is, so he's going to, which one is she doing first? She's going to, she's supposed to cut down, let's see. She's supposed to cut down 26 142. So yeah, my algorithm is all fucked up. Does it grab the longest distance one? So she's supposed to cut down this one right here. Take a screening. She's supposed to get the one on the right. I just want to keep track of it so we can see what's actually happening. So she's supposed to get this one. Let's see which one actually gets cut down. Okay, well that's... What the fuck? Like, that is not even in the goddamn ballpark, friends. What the fuck was that shit? I did not expect that for sure. She lost her job. Okay. How did you get... Oh, it must have already exceptioned. And then I de-exceptioned it. Okay. So you went through all the trouble to move to where you're supposed to be. And that's cool. You moved to the right place for sure. You moved so well that I think we can comment out some of that code. Log dupe timer. What do I have it set to? Have it set to. Gosh darn it. Sorry. I'm the worst around. Log dupe timer with my big old fat noggin. So 0.5. Let's set it to 1. Like, it doesn't need to be all the fucking time for sure. Let's see. Morning, Philip. How are you doing, sir?
Hello.
Reach the waypoint. Yeah, he moved, like, he moved where you're supposed, or she moved where she's supposed to be and cut down everything but the one she was supposed to cut down. Like, what the fuck, lady? Oh, sorry to hear it. Have some caffeine. It'll help you. Caffeine, food of the gods. My wife made me this cup for Christmas. It's hard to see, but it's a little Ravens logo, which is a sports ball team here. I'm doing good. I figured out what our issue was yesterday, which was me being dumb. It was me being dumb, and we figured it out. But we're debugging bugs with the fact that we changed the way the job system works. So it's certainly interesting. Waypoint reached. Fell out of the move loop, which is right. Totally normal. It's normal. She started the job check. Why is it going that? Yeah, that wasn't the one that was supposed to be done. She was supposed to be working on job move location was 25-142, but she went to step 2. Go garden tree. Location. My job start. Job step. Would our change we made to the way the jobs get assigned have fundamentally changed the way jobs work at all? They shouldn't, right? Like, let's walk through the logic just because we're missing something, right? We're missing something. And is there any? Clean up done jobs is easy. Care about, oh, we don't want a breakpoint there. We don't care about any of that. Add the job. That's it's easy. That works. Finish process job. That works. Well, it obviously doesn't work, so we've refactored a bunch. And this was working like for a single player yesterday until we changed the way the colonist polling worked. But we also changed couple events. Let's see, what if other events that we change on moving object? There was a couple of delegates we changed. Let's see. I like how it decides that I don't get to have, when I'm like, I really very fucking specifically want 2 copies of this open in both windows so I can look side by side, and it's like, ah, fuck you. No, I don't like that. How's the job front stuff coming, Philip? Get any new leads on Fiverr stuff yet? Sorry for constantly asking. I'm just curious. Change moving destination we have, and then job assigned we have. Moving destination. Fuck you too, what? What did I miss? What's the fuck you two about? What ha happened? What ha happened? Unless you're talking about Ryder. Yeah, fuck Ryder at times. Oh, gosh, no. Sorry, sir. Mobby. Sorry. Dude, you missed a sub? Philip, we had a new sub this morning. It was awesome. And we got a couple new emotes. Twitch hasn't approved them yet. But I added a couple of my daughter's artwork. A couple things from my daughter's artwork. The pawns can do no one move change. And then moving destination change. And the character is the one that's responsible for moving itself now. Not the job. They do job runner. This logic isn't going to change. Because it works for the most part. It invokes job move function. But it's almost like... It's almost like her job has been edited out from under her. Maybe let's say, okay, let's just look and see. And when we set a job status. Go guard the tree. No, there's a couple new ones. There's a fox and an Arctic fox, and then a doggo that got added. My daughter drew, so I added them. They haven't been approved yet, so I'm only affiliate, so I gotta wait like days for them to make sure I'm not putting dicks up or something. His emote looks just like a dick. We can't have that.
Sorry for these poor fools.
So do job. The do job's where she says to do work. And that's why it tells me there's one override. Oh, use your IDE for good, sir. And then do job gets on this assigned. That job set is assigned. That's where we're calling it from the job queue manager, right? Okay. That's what we call claim job. Okay. Oh, I saw this code here. If job assigned is null, return. So we can remove that code, right? We don't need that code anymore. So it's calling here and saying if own job's null, then fire the listener, which then calls do job on my end. Wonder. Let me make a note. Is there a question of do we need to restrict when you can update. Morning, Killpon, sir. How are you doing? Mr. Fancy Pantsy Steam guy. My buddy is an actor. He told me he wanted to join some play, but I think he broke his leg because next time I saw him, he told me he got in the cast. Wow. That sort of punmanship is. That's an impressive work of punmanship. That's all I'll say. Puns. Ugh. Gross. A pun a day keeps the doctor away. Good morning, Killpond. Good morning, Monty. Your little kitty cat eyes. Yeah, that's... Oh, I forgot the Console Pro did that. Let us search for things. So let me make sure all the logs say Job Queue Manager. In them so we can search. And then we can immediately just walk through the job claiming to see if we're missing something. I don't have my coffee yet, so be gentle. I'm having some tea right now, so. This should be a pretty full overview of what happens with jobs now. Let's see. Morning, pal. How's it going? We're having a good day because we fixed that shit that I kept blabbing to you about. How's all the, did you get the Steam shit squared away? Like where you can, get Steamworks installed? How long did it take you? Like a couple hours or? If you don't mind me asking, of course. Log. I wonder if it's a product of the distance. Let's do two jobs that are far apart. See what happens. Just check in ahead of time. Well, no, now we'll see if it's a product of distance or not, because we added two jobs of 4 and it was like, oh, this is your job. So they path properly that way. Or is it a product of we've dragged both at the same time, so both jobs went in at the exact same time? So let's see. Now let's do a chop it of wood on both of those two at the same time. Okay, so let's look at. I need to fix that cursor. It's really annoying that it doesn't line up properly. There's probably some math we're missing there. Now I'm ready to have another unproductive day. Nice. Just a nutritious, delicious breakfast. Awesome. So it took me ages working on assets content for the store page, but getting it on Steam wasn't that bad. I haven't tried it yet. I got it. You sent it to me after I was asleep, and I just woke up, so I'll try it after I get done the stream and see. Actually, I can. No. Why not take a? No, I'll do it after stream. It'll just take a second. I don't think it wouldn't work, unless you want me to check it right now. Which if you want me to check it right now, I can. If not, I'll do it in like a couple hours. This is the music from. Okay, then I will try it now then. Let me move my old Steamy Steam over. So I can get the key. Oop. Let me go get the thing, the old key erator from you. The old key erator. Do 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 do. Activate a product on Steam. Do 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 do. Great Outdoors for beta testing. Nice. 400 megs. Nice. Cool. Hey, if it was, did you follow a guide for implementing it? Because maybe I'll. Yeah, it's there and it's downloading now. So. Great Outdoors. You don't have a picture though, man. It's just like a tile. Good morning, Fletcher. How are you doing, sir? Dude, Chimera Squad's actually pretty good. I've actually been enjoying it. Like, you can't go wrong with XCOM for me. Although I played Xenonauts and it was a lot more faithful to the original XCOM because it was fucking brutal. He didn't make that. He made this one. He made this patch here. Great Outdoors. Great Outdoors. It's simplicity is what sets it apart. No, it's our buddy Killpond here in chat. He made it because he's a boss. Okay, so let's check and see. Not that one. No. Job queue. A bit tired, didn't get as smooth of a sleep as I wanted yesterday, but still up at 6 a.m. and done 90 minutes of programming so far. Awesome, Fletcher. Close to finishing my build pipeline, then I can actually jump into a game project. Yourself? Nice. Oh, that's awesome, Fletcher. Yeah, I did the build. I'll do the build pipeline later when I actually have, when I'm at the point where I'm putting out builds quick enough to need it. Like I'll do it. I try to do everything just in time. So since I'm not putting out builds right now because I need this work system to work properly. But once the work system works, then it's like implementing features, which should be orders of magnitude easier than this bullshit. And then when I'm at the point where I'm putting out more builds for you guys more quickly, then I can just steal my code that I used for another project to push out to itch. Or I could just get this thing set up on Stormworks if Killpond helps me out. Oh, nice. Oh, so he just told me to read the docs. I see. Here's the class I use. No. Read the docs. I'll have to figure it out then. So we'll see. I know how to do it with itch.io, so I'd probably just do that build process for now then. Is it about how sunlight burns and needs to go away? I don't know. What is your game about, Killpond? Epic is asking from one game developer to another. Let's go again so we can clear the logs out. We tested that it works singularly. But it's being weird. It's being weird when it's got all three things there. It's camera. Let's do, of course, chop it of wood. We'll click on all three of them together. See if it works properly that way. Should do that one first. Okay, so clicking singularly it still worked, but then it... Okay, so let's note the weirdness, right? Click. Singularly it on the right tile. If you drag and drop range for the jobs, it works on all of the not right tiles. So we can test, so we can actually should be able to test this pretty easily, right? If we think it's gonna work on, like, we do have the fucking tile editor, so we could do something like put some trees here on the item layer. I think the trees are on the item layer. If this isn't going to crash the editor, of course. Hopefully it won't. Okay, Hempo 1. Find Hempo 1. We're going to paint on the wall layer. We're going to paint a couple trees. This should work. Oh, it did the lock up the editor thing. Oh, Unity, you're so good to me sometimes, my friend. Oh, no, it came back. Oh, good. Or is it locked up again? Let's see. It's about social distancing to get you the blurb. Experience the great outdoors without leaving your seat. Group up with your... Oh, it just totally was like, nope, fuck you. We're done. Group up with your friends for a spot of fishing, ATV driving, drone flying, or boat sailing. The first focus for the great outdoors is to deliver our first activity, fishing. Each activity will be deep and rich with features and fun. That's one thing I'll leave until later, but want to do to auto-deploy to itch.io. And how is the job system progressing? Well, I figured out the issue yesterday, and that was just me being stupid. I'm a little embarrassed to admit I was using static delegates, so that's why it was fine for everything. So the whole, I wasn't able to figure it out because Rider has a cool little, I don't know if it's Unity or Rider, but Rider's debugger, as you saw, would lock up the editor. So eventually I went to the Visual Studio editor and was able to debug that over lunch. And then the debugger worked. I was able to follow through and see, oh, it's firing for everything. And I was like, shit, did I fuck up the delegate? And sure enough, the delegates were static. So it was kind of fucked up. You've disobeyed quarantine. Now you die. And I think I did just lock up the editor by trying to fuck with the tile map, which is a fun bug for sure. Thanks, Unity. Let's kill the editor and try that again. Like, we fixed the bug in Unity 2021. Do you want to use it? No. Do I want to spend a couple days fixing shit you're going to break from all the changes between 2 major goddamn revisions? No? Oh, you don't think so? Okay. Well, 2 minor revisions. I don't know. I count 2020. Yeah, from 2020, 21 to 20. Actually, you have to go to 20.2, so, which is an alpha. It's like, no, I don't want to do that. But thanks for asking, Dr. Crazy Pants. Yeah, no, it was super frustrating. Like, those are... It's like, dude, what a kick in the nuts amount of waste of time that was. And then the debugger, so it's like you just start thinking like you don't have any resources to debug it because the debugger doesn't work. So it's like, fuck, how do you debug when you can't debug? Like, super... Let's edit in the prefab mode. Maybe that will work better. Show little tree bros. Right here. Okay. Let's see if editing in the prefab is a little bit less terrible than editing on the scene. In fairness, there's like 300,000 tiles there, so I kind of understand why it's being a little bit of a pain in the ass. Importing the prefab, it's doing things. Is it going to do that for every click of the button? It is. Okay. As long as it doesn't lock up, I guess I'll take it. We're pushing our luck. We need to get this last one, then we're going to get out of this prefab. We're pushing our luck here. Okay. Now let's start the game. Viewers' issues are stupid human error or Unity issues, and you spend ages thinking it's a problem with your code. Oh, you can't get it working? Yeah, I was thinking of going to that instead of the Unity UI, just because. But then it's like, man, then you get into the sunk cost thing, where it's like, man, I spent so much time digging into this UI to make it work, and then to rip it out, it's like, but fuck that. Like, don't be scared just because you put a bunch of time into a piece of shit. Like, use the good hotness. So what issue are you getting? You have to allow like unsafe code. If I recall, like Dean talking about it. Oh, that's okay. That's cool. Cool. Not even any trees. I like it. I like it. No trees at all. Nice. Oh, we're reloading from disk. Is that why it's fucked up? Well, no, we're loading for prefab. Save time. At least we should be. Okay, good. Good, good. Okay, so good. So we're gonna try doing all these in one block, and if the theory is right, like it should remove all the trees next to, except for the one that we're supposed to be working on. So it's supposed to be working on 17,143. Pause in time so we can actually see. So let's see, 17,143 is what she's supposed to be doing. 15, so it should be this one. She should be removing. This is the tree that should be getting destroyed. So let's see. Let's be unsafe. Take off our masks. Join hands. Cough together. Okay, you're making me think of something, Zach, and I'm gonna have to put it on. Sorry, it's important to share with you're just making me think of it, you know. Oh, that's okay. Well, be careful what you put into YouTube, I guess. Poop together comes up with some interesting stuff if you're not more careful about what you say.
Are you back here?
After you left, I thought about what you said and how much I needed to hear it. But then I thought about why you were saying it, who you were really saying it to. You need the same thing I needed, Rick. You need someone to give you permission to live.
What the? I thought
Empty
you were a
game
shy
object with
pooper.
dear I am
You know
GUI
what shy
component
pooping
looking
is,
at my
Rick?
main camera,
It's a
and on the
pointless
camera I
bid
have
for
this
control.
test script
You want to
withdraw.
take the one part of life that you
I
truly
debugged
think
that
is
layout
yours,
method,
and
it's
you want
being
to protect
called
it from a
weird.
universe that takes whatever it wants. It took my wife. It clearly took something from you.
You're getting to the part,
We
don't
can
worry.
spend our lives fighting that.
Take off our
or we
masks
can
and
choose
cough
to be
together. Here you
free.
go.
You're right, Tony. I'm done fighting. Time to be free.
Oh, wait, you're actually gonna... Oh, God! Oh, God.
Let's cough together, Tony. Let's cough together.
Where am I?
Hi, little mouse.
Baby Bean. I missed you so much.
I never really left you.
Then you'd know that a few years ago I started getting
Apple.
into...
Strap-on porn? Yes.
It was
I thought
hot.
it was hot. Now come on.
Where are you going?
To poop.
Where?
This is you, Zach.
Wherever
Cough
you
together.
want, Forever.
My God.
Poop with me.
I'm pooping too.
Come, Tony. Come on. Come poop with me. Poop with me, Tony. Poop with me.
What are you waiting
Cough
for?
together.
Aren't you gonna
Gonna join us?
Tony?
Aren't you gonna join us for the pooping? It's Rick and Morty. It's the Rick and Morty you haven't seen yet, Philip. So that's a little bit of a sneak peek for you. Poop with me. That's what your cough with me made me think of. Sorry. See, my brain goes to weird places. And I'm gotta focus. See, I'm jerking off instead of paying attention to what we gotta pay attention to. Okay, let's see. Let's run. Okay, so it did. So this reminds me of a scene from Desperado where Quentin Tarantino walks in and he tells the boss or the bartender some joke along the lines of, this guy comes in, he's pissing all over the bar and all over the people, and not only does the bartender not get mad, the bartender's happy because he'd bet the bartender that. So like it made me think of this, where it's like, it not only did it not cut down the fucking tree the job was for, it cut down all of its fucking neighbor trees. It's like, fuck the tree we wanted. Like we're doing, so somewhere our logic is retarded, backwards, could be anything. So, oh, sorry for doing that in your ears. Okay, so let's see. Let's see what's going on, you piece of shit. Oh my god, I hate computers. F you. Don't F you. Like, dude, that was literally a 60-second clip, you know, to get your juices flowing for Rick and Morty. So it puts all the jobs in at once. I'm just trying to think. So yesterday we changed the logic from the colonists polling for jobs, but once she has a job, it should just be kicking out. added the job. She claimed the job at 17,143 is what she was supposed to be doing. She ain't got no house training. But it said it was starting. The job at 15,142 got picked up, which is not correct. So there's a disconnect. When we drag. When all the jobs came in at the same time. All different GUIDs. Yeah, I should spit the GUID out too. Instead of like the position, I should show the GUID to see. But I don't think it's the job that's firing wrong. Let's look through the job logic real quick. Let's checky. Job gets added. What is this? Job Polar 114? Enumerate over the jobs. Get workable job count. It's null. Or if there's no jobs to be done, we just fuck off. And this won't be the case. This should only fire when there's no jobs at all. Morning, Kill Pond. So it's, like I was saying, we got the issue done with why we were seeing weird behavior, and that was because of the static delegates. So now it's just going back through the logic. And one other thing we changed, which is still changed, is the job polar is now job cycles around the jobs instead of around the colonists. So there's some change with the logic, so we're walking through it because it looks like we have some bugs. So we have to figure it out, and it'll be good to go. We're getting there. We should have the blue origin motto, like whatever it is, which step by step, ferocious. Excuse me, step by step, ferociously, because we're gonna get there, and then we're gonna look back and we'll laugh about how much of a goddamn pain in the ass this was to do. It's like something that seems super easy, and it's probably super easy, but to me, it's not easy. Well, I didn't end up using priority. Well, I added a job priority to the job class, but we're not there yet. Like I'm just trying to get it running it all like singularly properly, and then we can start having it check the priority to do things like only grab the job that's, because we have some notes in here. It's like when we loop through the job, like we should grab the colonist that's best for the job, not the first one, and then we should grab, and that'll be part of implementing the, the priorities like RimWorld has, where it's like, oh, grab the colonist that has a 1. Ow, my back. Grab the colonist that's higher rank, like grab the colonist that is most likely to want to do the job. So we don't have that code in place yet, so it's just random at the moment. It's not random, but it's not, there's no restrictions on it, so we're gonna get that. We're going to get it working first, and then once we get it working plainly, then we can add the complexity onto it, on top of it. But we'll get there. It's not like this is any fucking Manifold Garden, which is an awesome game, by the way. Like, I watched William stream that for a long time when he was making it, and it's a fun game. It reached the point where it's too hard for me. I'm like, nope, I'm out. This is too hard. My brain is not big enough. But yeah, priority and stuff does need fixing eventually, once we get there. Once we get there, Tony. Let me... This is saying this job waiting to be picked up, which doesn't really fucking mean anything, right? Like, we'll put the GUID at the end of it too. And this was me calling the unemployed colonist check as a coroutine, or as just a regular function. Maybe I'll do that now again, because I kind of like the idea of the callbacks. Get it out of line. Yeah, let's do that. Let's comment all this horse shit out. We're gonna call unemployed check. It's just, it's not an enumerator, it's not a coroutine. It just runs through the unemployed list and it looks for any people that were found, which this doesn't matter at this point, the found count. Actually, it would be colonist employed check. This can be debugged. We don't need to run this. We don't need to run that. Logic needs to score each person by things. No, we're totally going to do that. Like we have all that set up here. If we look at the moving object, like they've got what their priority. They have default right now what their priority is, but we can eventually make that to be like a number system to where it's different depending on the person, but we're just not implementing that yet because we don't need it yet. Like we don't need priorities yet. Like we will eventually when this works and people are playing it and they want their colonists to be specific, but right now we just want the colonists to do anything, like to loop through the jobs properly without erring and just knock them out eventually. Then we can add logic on top of it. Like I don't want to add complexity when it's not working, if that makes sense. Morning, Blar. How are you doing, sir? I don't envy you on this. Say you have a doctor cutting down a tree somewhere and somebody needs a medic. Do you go for the dumb guy who has no skill but right next to him? Well, we will cross that bridge when we get to it. Like, then at least, like, once we get into a working state, we know, like, the pieces will be copacetic. I'm glad you're doing well, Balar. Good morning. I hope you have a good Tuesday. What the fucking day is it? Wednesday? I hope you have a good Wednesday. What day is it? Where's my pants? Which is from Dennis Leary. No cure for cancer. If you wonder why I fucking say that all the time. But that's like 20 years old. Fuck. Like 25 years old, so probably nobody gets that reference. Like, this guy's weird. He keeps talking about not having any pants on. I don't understand. I think he's violating Twitch terms of service. No, it's a scene from Dennis Leary. I made a generator for it. So we have dynamic generation, like we talked about. We can do. So it used to default to generating a map fresh every time, but that makes the iteration time like a minute because this is like 90,000 hexes because it's 300 by 300 times like 9 layers. So there's a bunch of stuff it has to do. So it's like a minute worth to generate the map. So to save time and to make the iteration like more bearable for like me as well as you guys, we added the system to say generate from a prefab. So we generated the map once and then we made a prefab of that map. And then we saved it. And then we saved that prefab to disk. So we have disk loading. And then we have the option to load save. But for right now, we don't generate a new map every time just because we don't want, because it just adds time. But yeah, every single time when I was originally testing it, every single run was a new and different map, which made it hard to test because, you know, you kind of want, like, I want these trees to be here every time because my testing is going to be iterating over making a job thing here until it works right. And that's weird if you regenerate a map every single time, if that makes sense. George Carlin was awesome. Yeah, I love George Carlin. I used to listen to him as a kid as well. When you go to the baseball stadium, most people bring a glove. Fuck that. Bring a bat. Show them you're a fun fan. Fuck that. Bring a bat. Yeah, we use Perlin noise. Let me show you kind of the the code if you want to see. I'll do a once over of it. Because that is one thing that I fucking iterated on forever and actually got working right, which, funny enough, took everything. Every big piece of the project you do takes a long time, longer than you guys for sure. I'm a little bit slower at some of the stuff, but let's go look at board manager. Open board manager here. Boop. And then when we generate the map, random names. Did I already pass the theoretical byte? So there's a system of biomes. Like biomes are how everything's determined, like a height map. Because this system was originally used for like a Minecraft clone. So it's like you think like 64 to minus 64, like for the levels that you can do. And then we use the biomes for height map. And this is 2D, so you don't actually get all of that granularity, but we have noise values to calculate rocks and moisture for like where mountains are going to be. And I think we're using noise. I think I grabbed, yeah, simplex noise from this guy online to do the noise calculation. Yeah, that's all the noise stuff. Does your tile manager have the generation, or is it not part of the open source code? Oh, the tile manager doesn't have the generation. But that if you want that, I could probably add that into there. Move the code into there. I just have to look at this guy's license. I got to remember to see if I can redistribute it and find this. Oh, right there. This is free and unencumbered software released into the public domain. Oh, so yeah, I can add it into there. Let me make a note and we can work on that like tomorrow or something. Or if we get fucking fed up with this today, we can take a stab at it. It shouldn't be hard. Because that's a good idea. Generate a random map. Add random tile generation into tile manager. Because that's the heavy lifting of that. That was the only non-me code I used for the Perl and stuff. Everything else I wrote myself. So I could put that in there. Add random tile generation to tile manager. Alar wants it. Alar wants it. Be able to generate random tile map from tile manager. So there is some. So in Tile Manager, there is some code I think I have in there to do like a random tile map generation, but it's not using noise. I don't think. Let me see, because it was some other tutorial I was following. So I think it was this create sim. So this was creating. Oh, and actually now that I think Unity comes with noise built in, so that's why I don't need that anymore. But yeah, I think I was doing, there's like really basic init mapping in here in the create sim function. But it's not really, and it'll save it as an asset for you. So yeah, there is code to do that right now actually. But it's not as deep as the stuff that I built for this, which I can put in there. It's just very basic. What is the noise shit? I thought they got noise somewhere. Thought anyway. Use Simnum. Oh, because this is using like I got this from a tutorial and it was using like a really a really shitty algorithm. I don't mean to say super nasty things about it. It's using this algorithm, Conway's Game of Life. So it's like it's doing a very basic like water to ground. So it's not really doing Perlin noise. It's basically doing this, and it's kind of like, ugh. So I'll add my train map stuff into there if you I made a note to do that, so I can knock that out for you in a couple days. It'd probably be a fun little couple hour project to do for you. Because yeah, I actually like what I built. I mean, it's not perfect, but of all the stuff I built, it actually It works every time. So it's like fucking Tim the Toolman Taylor in like that TV show where everything he tried to build was just had shit fucked up with it, or the inventor from Gremlins. Man, I'm really dating myself. That he would always make shitty inventions that break, or like the kid from Goonies that would make shitty inventions that break. It's like Kyle, the random generation stuff is like the one piece that I built that actually fucking works like really well and properly. I mean, I put a long time into getting it to hammered out. So I want to get the same way with this stuff too, with the job system. Like once we're done, like it's a bitch now, but like once we're done with it, it should just fucking work and be like rock solid once we figure out all the, oh, we fucked this up, we fucked that up. Like once we get the logic square, I think it'll be pretty solid. Thing is that Godot voxel module I wrote about a week ago or so has a generator using open simplex noise using Godot, but that seems only really usable for a single voxel block type. So the way I do it to change it is we have this concept of fuzzy trees. Let's start from the beginning, because it is complicated enough that I always have to start over. Like, how the fuck did I do this? Like, it's one of the things that I look at. I'm like, how did I do this? This is so fucking complicated. Like, how does this work? And it's not really that complicated. And there's probably people that do it way better. But for me, I'm super stoked about it. So I'm not trying to say that I'm king shit or something. So I loop through. So it all starts with calculate map from scratch. And then, close this fucker to get some more up down. So we grab three random values for like graining the noise. Then we loop through the map. So we make the array, we make an array of like common like 300 by 300 or whatever X by Y for the map. And then we step through it and make sure we're not outside of any edges. And then the first thing we do is we get our theoretical block. So let's split this vertically. Move this here. And then let's look at get our theoretical block and see what that is. And let's actually comment it while we're here. Position to generate. And then the offsets are the grain that we're passing in to it. It's just for a little bit of difference. So then from get theoretical byte, which each one of the blocks is stored as a byte in a byte array. So we do moisture, we calculate, and you can add any number of these. Let's use moisture and rockiness for two different biomes, which I think I've shown before, where we go to the world, and here's the current world now, and there's, oh, I left the game, so let me go in and you'll see the world. You can see the biomes we do, and we hard code the biomes now, but they used to be in a scriptable object, but I just hard coded them because I'm a lazy sack of potatoes. Let me find world.cs so you can see that. Where's world? Oh, I bet it's in the folder called WorldGen, maybe? Hey, it's in fucking WorldGen. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, world. So here we're just building the world, and we're hard coding. Like, this used to be a scriptable object, but I was being lazy for sure. And then we just say there's mountains for right now, and then there's granite mountains, and then there's lakes and water. And they have different levels of where they can be used in. New brick attribute layer. So like they can say like above moisture value and below value, so that when it's calculating the noise here, let's jump over to that. Let me split that again. Donnelly. So calculate noise level just takes in a position and it does the noise. It takes the noise X and Y and then it passes into noise generate and returns that as the noise value with the grain offset. So then it does the same for rockiness, does the same for blob and mountain value, and then it passes in like get ideal biome. No, go fuck yourself. Get ideal biome. Oh, it's in world. I'm like, why do I not see this? Because you're looking in the wrong place, dingus. Get ideal biome is here. And this just does a bid for which one's the most likely, which one's the best fit. So it loops through all the biomes that we have, and it grabs the bid, it calls bid on the biome with the moisture and rockiness values. And then it returns the best bid. So then let's go look at bid. What the fuck is bid? Is bid in game data? It must be in game data. Oh, bid's in biome still. Okay. Passes the moisture in that. Does basic math on there to find which one's the best brick, and then it returns that brick to you, and then from there gets the brick, which is in here, right? Biome get brick. So then it does the bid stuff we already saw. It returns the best brick. Then we grab the brick by the enum, which is on the brick list that we had in the other layer. So then that tells you like what you've got, and then it returns the new brick layer to me. So let's go back to the board manager, and that's what we get from our brick. So then once we have our brick, we basically tie that brick to a tile through map brick to tile, which is here, which is just an enum right now for type of brick. And then we know, oh, it's supposed to be mountain. And then I have a function that does get tile by type, which calls into a map atlas to let's open that up. No, move atlas, map atlas over here. So here's where we go and we say, what's the enum tile type? And then I have a function on our scriptable object saying find everything of the type, which is basically just a link search to find the object type name inside of the scriptable object database. And that's how we return that. But we do that like piece by piece. And the Perla noise helps make sure that you have terrain that looks interesting and like together, instead of it being like random hodgepodge of like weird random blocks. So that's how you get those. That's how you get these like semi-random shapes that kind of look like they belong. And this could be tuned more. Like this is not perfect, but it was good enough to work on, so I moved forward with it. There's a lot more stuff we could add to make it, you know, better. Well, I'm not thinking about Dwarf Fortress Rimworld game. The generated world with Z layer would be useful for what I want to experiment with. Okay, then I will I have that as a ticket. Then we can spend, I don't know if we want to do it today. Well, I mean, if we can figure out this job thing, then we could do that next, is move all of the terrain generation into the tile manager, because I'm fine with giving that code out. I've used it for a bunch of different things. And I actually I followed that biome tutorial through a guy called Craig Perko, who did a YouTube series on this like fucking 7 years ago. And I followed him like 7 years ago, and I wrote out the code as he wrote it at the same time, because he didn't release the source code. So I like did it from the YouTube video, and it was awesome. And it would be fun to give back to help other people that needed it too, for sure. This is one of the few things that I'm like, hey, I actually made something that like pretty solid. No, that's fine. But I mean, well, here's the thing. Like, would it be of any interest for you to, if I move that code in there? Like, if you're not gonna ever look at it, then yeah, maybe I don't want to waste the time with it. But if it's like, hey, I would use this to kind of look at that code, I could totally move it over. So that's all. It's not a big deal if you want to use it. It's not a big deal if you don't. I don't mind moving it over to help people who are trying to learn. Because I'm always trying to learn. Always have, always will be. So he's supposed to cut down, or she's supposed to cut down. Hey, thank you for the follow, Ink. Welcome to the Biscuit Brigade.
Welcome to the Biscuit Brigade.
Which is much less scary than the sub sound I fucking added. Jesus Christ, that scared the shit out of me. Like, you missed it. Like, Larry came in and subbed, and I changed the sub noise to something that was a lot louder than I thought it would be. So it was just in my ears like, Jesus Christ. How are you doing this morning, sir? We're just trying to debug, we're trying to debug some issues with our work system. But yeah, Blar, if it'll help you at all, then we'll totally put the effort into moving it into the open source project. Because I'm fine with that tool being there. Hey, we're almost halfway to 900, and our goal is 1,000, Philip. We're getting there. Pretty awesome. We are building a community of like-minded folks. And the Discord's actually starting to fill up too, which is nice. You have to go make the Discord nice, Philip. You have to go put some neat bots into it and stuff and make it enjoyable. Put some coffee out for all the peeps. She's working on 17143, which is this guy, I'm gonna guess. Okay, so if the same logic of it being broken holds, then she's going to cut down these two trees. It's pretty much not what we fucking want to happen. Let's look at the main camera, which shows us the jobs that are already in progress. Let's see what we got. That set is in progress by default. That job's in progress too. Why is that job in progress? Are they all in progress? They're all in progress. Oh, that could... Oh dear. We have found quite an interesting bug. Okay, so these jobs shouldn't be in progress. So, let's see. Let's see why they're fucked up. And let's write it down so we don't forget it. We're seeing all the jobs in progress. We add bulk jobs to the queue, and they are all going in progress, which is not what we fucking want. Negatory, good buddy. Negatory, Ghost Rider, the pattern is full. And how do I sound today, Philip? I moved the microphone from like being like based here on my desk to like up on top of my desk, coming down in my face. And I'm trying to find a better boom, because this is like apparently one of the shittiest booms you can get. So if I got a better boom, I found one for like $60 that I might get if I get paid tomorrow, and then put it like right in front of my face. Yes, every single job in progress? Yeah, in progress, progress, progress. Did a certain, let's see, did a big dumb dummy make the same static mistake for job stuff, which I wouldn't be surprised if I did. I bet that's what I did. Because this was public static event before. Let's see if we can find public static event anywhere in the code base. I bet. Aha! Well, that's menu manager. And that'll turn deep. Oh, I didn't show you guys this, but I did, oh, it's broken. I added, again, gosh darn. When you spend 2 hours fixing up some stuff and realize you haven't tackled any of the items on the list. Are you talking about me or you? Or both? So we added this thing here for, colonist debug. So when they're, it's really hard to see, but it's like really neat that we have this debug overlay now to see at a glance if we wanted to what like a colonist is doing. We can say chop it a wood. Oh, well, look at that bug that I didn't even think about. Girl, your overlay's in the way of my jobs, girl. Bug over here. There you go. Now we're good. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Well, I've been streaming for about 2 hours and it's the same shit. I've got very little. What are you doing? Move to done is the in progress is not done. Okay, but all these jobs are still in progress, which is all the go gardening is in progress too, which is what the fuck. Yeah, it's behaving like the this one we will want to turn all the pawn stuff on. there shouldn't. Was there delegates? Where else did I have delegates? I could spell delegate, right? An E, motherfucker. Listener. Thanks. Thanks for that, Ryder. Appreciate it. You're the best. I just wanted to focus on my shit. Job assigned. Where do they go? You know, one thing I haven't done, which maybe I want to do, is let's make a way to spawn a colonist in. Because I want to start the job system without a colonist and see. Actually, we should be able to do this easy enough. If we should start the game, we can kill the colonist and then create a job and see what happens. And see if they start as in progress. Because I think it's the colonist somehow that's fucking it up, but maybe not. But then if we remove the colonist, then we will know for sure. Let's see if this breaks everything. Boop. Hey, it's still working good. Magic. Okay, so now we're going to add a chop of wood. Okay, so it didn't like what I tried to do there, but let's see if the jobs are all in progress. They're all created. They're all created. So the jobs are all being picked up from something with the colonist. I did a nice refactor and had 2 very specific items on my list that will mean that the build pipeline package is actually complete. Nice. Hey, it's 2 hours doing at least stuff. As long as you're moving forward ferociously, then you know you're good. Step by step. Tea done. Which is good because I got to sleep really. I had bad sleep myself. Okay. Let us see. Okay, so it's wherever we link colonist and job together. So that would be under the colonist polar. Colonist job polar right there. And this is actually now calling through a callback, which is kind of cool. It's kind of neat. At least I think it's kind of neat. Let's see. And then this is the callback of, assigned a colonist job. Passes a colonist and a job. Okay, we're calling unemployed check, then we're calling assigned a job as the callback, and that's the signature. Sign. This can be sign columns to job with the GUID. Let's see. I'm guessing it to be something in a assigned job, so let's comment it out and test again. Yeah. Well, I try to get good sleep because one, like, lack of sleep is really bad for your body in a lot of ways, and one of the ways is that studies have shown is like it increases the risk of dementia, And like as I've talked about, my mom has dementia, so I try to at least get 6 hours a night just to not, you know, I'd love to be awake more, but you know, the long-term health effects it has, like dementia, which I really don't want to fucking get. So I try really, really hard to get at least 6 hours a night. And I actually feel better. I feel more productive. Like, so I do try to do that. I'm a weirdo, I know. I hope it makes up for it that I get better sleep and I'm more productive. So we commented out a sign job. Let's go ahead and create the job now. Let's lock the doobie. Create the job. Clear the logs. Top of the wood. Nothing's going to fire for a sign, so these jobs should all be... They've all went to ready... Well, one of them went to ready to claim. They all went to ready to claim. Why the fuck are they ready to claim? You know what the fuck you can do with an aluminum tube? So they didn't all go to in progress, but they all went to ready to claim. Which is kind of interesting. Assign job to colonist. So yeah, it's like assigning all these jobs to her. Which was disappearing in the collapse before because the messages were all the same. So I wasn't seeing that it was assigning every goddamn job to her. Like, no, boss, no. And then where's it assigning it to her? Okay, so we have some bug somewhere. Hopefully it's easy to fix because it seems like it'll be easy to fix. Jobs are waiting to get picked up. Job assigned to colonists. From the callback. Oh, because this is... You put multiple jobs in, so every job is looking to see if the colonist... Okay, so there's some logic thing there with the way the polar works. Okay. So we can figure that out, probably. Good morning, Dr. Freeman. Ready to claimed. So where do we set it to ready to claimed? Ready for claim. We do that here, inside of the unemployed check. Okay. So this is calling... So what seems like is happening is it's this list has... This job polar list has one colonist, but it has 4 jobs, and it's trying to assign me all 4 of them. So we need to have a break to break out of the loop when we assign it the first time. I love programming too, and I don't really... Sleep is fun because I'm like a... what's the word I'm looking for? A lucid dreamer. So like my dreams are like some of the best things in the world. I can do anything I want in my dream because I know I'm dreaming. So it's just like, I want to rip your head off because it's like you're dreaming, or I'll do whatever I want to you. Or it's like, I know I'm dreaming, so I know I can fly. So I like fly in my dream slot. When like zombies and shit are here, I'm like, fuck you guys. And I'm like, I'm out and I'll fly. So I love sleeping, and I do love programming, but I really am very, 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 very conscious of not wanting to do anything I can do to not get dementia and put my family through that. It's not mess for me. I mean, it is terrifying to think about like losing your mind, but it's more terrifying to think about putting my family through like what they go through when someone you love has that. So in before Dr. Job was like, we're working on that, motherfucker. You give us 10 years and we'll be fixed, which I really hope that's the truth. Like that would be like those people, man. The people that solve that, fucking heroes, man. Fucking heroes. So it's looping through here and saying, hey, we've got a job. Hey, would you like to develop an app? And it does that a couple times. And, which is a Rick and Morty thing, Philip. Unemployed check. Let me move unemployed check closer here so I can compare them quickly. I like my code to be neighbors for each other. I like them to be good neighbors to each other. That's a good British accent, I think. I think that was spot on. Could I get a spot of tea? Eh? That's bollocks. Huh? I'm good with that stuff. I could be in England and nobody would know the difference. It would just be like so natural. A true hero kills another hero so they can be the only hero. Hence the last true hero. I like the way you think, Zach. I like the way you think. Terrible. Well, you're British. Killpond is British. There's a couple other Brits here in the morning. I know. It's okay. You can do the worst American accents too. Okay, so we're looping through the unemployed colonists. So we're breaking out of this loop for the individual job here. But because it's funny, we were thinking about it from the way of, oh, we got to make sure the jobs are set that way too. But we also need to make sure the colonist is set like, I'm pending a job, so stop fucking looking at me, because I'm no longer unemployed, motherfucker. I'm not unemployed anymore. I'm a real hero. So here, if it finds and there's no fucking static delegate, so we know this is just stupid logic, me being stupid with logic. Let's remove this stuff because this is gross too. Actually, this will loop through the job. So this is going to have, for this example, 4 jobs to do. I'm going to loop through here. I'm an unemployed colonist. I'm the only unemployed colonist, so it's going to loop. So we need to break out of this fucking loop, like when this is done. And if this is looping through unemployed colonists, this needs to return something then, because we need to say like, we got a colonist, like fuck off. So this needs to return a bool then. So this is going to loop through all unemployed colonists. We find one to do the job. And then if we find one, we need to return, yes, we fucking found somebody, bro. We found someone. It's awesome. Return true. And then if I return, that should break out of the loop itself anyway, so the break might be superfluous. Motherfucker. Epic. Oh my goodness. See, like I told you, there's several Brits in the morning. Brits in the morning with biscuit. And it's nice because I've got some Garibaldi's biscuits right here for you. Delicious Garibaldi's biscuits. They really fill your soul and your mouth hole. Garibaldi's. Oh, you like the uni job system, you motherfuckers. Okay, so this should break out, then we'll return false, and then if this comes back as false, we know. So if this comes back, I guess I could put it in line in the function, but that just feels weird. Like, it just feels like it's like using it as a side effect is just like, oh, that's fucking gross. If job results, because this is looping over a single job, so if job result is true, then we can break out of this loop. We found someone for this job. Break. Well, no, if we break out of that, well, that's breaking out of the. No, that's not breaking out of the. We don't want to break out of this list. Because this is looking for other jobs, but we do need to say this fucking colonist is no longer unemployed. So we do need to remove them from that list, which is what somebody was saying yesterday, and we're like, oh, we don't have to do that yet. And no, whoever said that yesterday, you were totally right. We do need to remove them from the fucking list. I think that was Llama actually that was saying that. I don't know how PG friendly your chat is. Just don't be mean to people. Don't be a dick. As long as you're not like attacking people, like say whatever you want. I don't give a shit. Like we're in the middle of the night. Like there's not going to be any kids here around, and you know, yeah, I swear enough that this can't be a family-friendly channel for sure. Fuck your family and fuck your friends, but don't fuck your friends' family. I don't know how PG your chat is, but listen here, you pal. Your British accent rustles my jimmies. Oh, I love rustling jimmies. I love a light breeze that will rustle my jimmies. I don't mean Filipino Airlines. Fuck you too. Okay, so this is... yeah, we need to get this colonist... When they get assigned, they need to be immediately... Well, we need to check if the job is claimed. We also need to check if a fucking... Unemployed person is unemployed. Well, we had this. We were doing this colonist list ahead of time. Like, oh, we're just going to do it here, but we need to do this. It needs to be part of inside the loop because this has to be done every part of the loop. Like, we need to find out who's unemployed, who's gainfully employed. Oh, and this cannot be an I. It has to be a fucking. Let me move it back up and. Actually, no, I'll just fucking fix it right here. So we should be good now. So this will loop through and this will redo the list. I'd like to develop an app. Every part of this list will iterate over that, making a new list. So that should fix the duplicate jobs issue. Did you know if you wrap code and then you can reuse variable names? Give me a gist. Like if I did like that, I could make them both I. I don't know who Dustin is, but I think it's I think you're trying to throw some shade my way, so we'll see. Nice. I did not know that. Thank you, Killpond. I knew. I was like, it's got to be some British joke. Some British joke. At least I have good teeth. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm just fucking joking. I'm not. I don't mean anything by it. I'm just teasing. The same way as you guys can all say, you know, I'm a stupid American that lives in a country that has a Cheeto as president, so I don't have much room to talk. Code path doesn't return. It does in fact return false, but it's like, no, it has to be at the end of the loop as well. So if we get to the end of the for loop and shit is still fucked, then just return false. We didn't find anybody. We found no one, then we're good. Okay. You good now? You happy? You yippee skippy now? Let's see. President Cheeto. Yeah. I'm just going to go inject some bleach, you know. Yeah, never mind. I'm not going to say terrible things like, if you believe that pile of garbage, you should totally inject bleach right into your fucking neck. Unplug your phone, throw your cell phone out the window, then inject bleach into your neck. And then, you know, then you guys can be... I started watching, showing my wife, Wild Country, which is about the sannyasas in Oregon in like the 80s, and like they talked about Jonestown and how like they were like, the Jonestown guy was like, oh, just kill yourself, and then my wife's like, hey, it's a lot like, you know, dumb fuck saying, you know, inject bleach into yourself. I was like, yeah, or inject disinfectant. Sorry, not just bleach, but disinfectant. Like, yeah, it does kind of seem that way. Imagine if every one of his stupid supporters just injected bleach into themselves. The per capita like education quotient, intelligence quotient for the country would go up tremendously. But I would hate to see people die. Just because they're stupid doesn't mean they should be dead. It's like, dude, what a bunch of fucking idiots. Anyway, that's enough of my ranting for the day about President Fuckface. I'm sorry, Killpond. You're the meanest Canadian I've ever seen. Dude, if you want the meanest Canadian, you go see Quill, man. He'll put you in your place. So let's see, we shouldn't see the issue where every job is being assigned at the same time now. Hopefully. Maybe. Potentially. Or it's going to break right away. It'll be like, you fucking missed some code. You suck. Okay, let's check. Actually, I guess we'll see pretty easily. Oh, this is the point where I'm like, I want to be excited, but I know the other shoe's like ready to just fucking like get excited and say, "Pow! Fuck you! You missed another bug. Like, we deleted your hard drive because you made, you know, it's all good. It's all good." I mean, if you played Dota as much as I have, you probably told more people than Trump did. I never played Dota. The one game where I did one time tell someone to kill themselves was playing War Thunder. Like this one guy was just constantly griefing, and he was just, and then he was saying like mean shit. So eventually I was like, just kill yourself. And I got fucking banned for 14 days because of it. And he didn't get shit after he was saying stuff to a bunch of people. And I haven't played War Thunder since. I was like, fuck that game. If you're gonna ban me for telling this guy that was going around calling people N-word and shit, like, and he didn't get banned, and then when I tell him to kill himself eventually after like a half hour of him just being a fucking piece of shit to everybody, and I get banned, I was like, oh no, fuck that game. Fuck those pieces of shit. Assholes. I prefer a non-lethal way to increase that. No, I totally agree, Blar. I would like people can't help that they didn't have access to education, or that, you know, that they didn't. People's education is not always in their control, you know. Like if I wanted to be like a total piece of shit, like I could just homeschool my kid and just teach them about like, you know, shit, and then you like indoctrinate them. You're basically like making a little like mindless clone. So that's what I like about the public school system, is that you're teaching kids stuff that they need to know. Like, the smarter you are, the better choices you make in life. Good lord, what am I doing? What am I fucking doing ranting again? I'm really sorry. Let's colonist number 2. That worked. Let's add a second colonist, see if it works again. So I can shut the fuck up with my rantingness. I'm never gonna become popular if I just rant all the time. Who wants to see someone sit here and just complain and bitch him out all the time? Not me, that's for sure. What the fuck is this music that I added to the soundtrack? What's SnowRunner, Killpond? Yeah, go share a picture, Fletcher. Yeah, of course, Epic. What would you make it happy and increase my hours in game by an indefinite amount? What? Shoot. You don't have to ask a question. I mean, you can ask your question, but ask your question. Don't wait for me to answer your question for sure, because I don't want to miss it. Oh, congratulations on getting the build pipeline done, Fletcher. That's awesome, man. I'm really happy for you. That is awesome. I prefer non-lethal way. Yes. Can I make a request? Yes. Go make it. Looking forward to taking a break and playing it tonight. No, what is it about? Is it just you drive snowmobiles around? Let me grieve so we can get banned. Please add lots of flooring issues. What do you mean flooring issues? Oh, flooring options. Yeah, I just because then you can is it because from a decoration standpoint where you can then decorate better? I'll add as an issue right now. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that kind of stuff, because I'm like, I know what I want. I know what the base mechanics of RimWorld is, but it's like what keeps people playing it, like modding for one, and then like, you know, let's make sure we add the things that we need to. Flooring options. Make sure we have a wide variety of flooring options and decoration options. Oh, the Slumdog Millionaire guy died. I never saw either of those movies, but that's a bummer. Make sure we have a wide variety of flooring options and decoration options available. Oh, for Epic. SnowRunner is the latest installment in the strangely popular Sprint Tires series. Oh, Mudrunner guy. Okay, so the mud truck dude. That's cool. I live for flooring options, these type of games. RimWorld has like 10. So you want more than 10 is what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, the thing I like about RimWorld's flooring is like, I used blue carpet. I tried to use blue carpet to like show like medical wings, and I try to like have the wings have different carpet colors, so you know you're walking from one area to the base to another based on like that kind of look and feel. SnowRunner. Oh, actually, I'm thinking Spin Tires. Focus Home Entertainment. That looks fun. I've never played them. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry. Oh, Jesus. Okay, sorry. Ooh, fuck me. That was like, ear rape. Not the good kind. Help. What was Fletcher saying? Left window allows you to update version, open the scenes window, and build. Oh, so you built this all using Unity editor stuff. Did you use Odin or did you just do it all by yourself? Because yeah, let me tell you, like this looks super simple, but if you were here when I replaced one of my editor windows, which was like 1,000 lines of code, to just use Odin's tool, like I know that this is a major goddamn fucking. It's not as nice as you think it is, but this is nice. You should open source it. You should open source it so I can steal it, or borrow it, or use it when I get there, or not. Don't feel obligated. I'm just fucking with you. I mean, if there's an option to, I'm getting old enough to know that, like, if there's an option to do something without having to write it myself, like I should just take that instead of writing it myself. Like when I was younger, it was like, oh, you have to write it all yourself. It has to be farm-fed code that was raised by your teat. But now it's like, if it works, it works. This is really nice, man. Nice work, Mr. Goss. I really hate the new scrolling in Twitch. Like, I have to scroll. Ugh. I like the Ep and Eden part more the better. Also, RimWorld has a mod which improves my gameplay, and that's for you to till soil for farming, so you just have symmetrical farming layouts. Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice when we get there. Let's make a note. Like, let's make a note of it when we get there, because we will get there. I should just use Trello. Odin's Odin, which is DevDog, they have a tool like this thing here. When I open it, this was about 1,000 lines of code when I wrote it originally, and now it's just using decorations in the editor script to just display all this data. Because I wrote editors, and man, what a pain in the dick it is to do. So I totally feel for you, Fletcher. Like, fuck. I will never again do that if I can do it with Odin. Because it is such a crazy amount of code you have to write to just do one. That little window is probably like 1,000 lines of code, or like 1,200. I bet. I would bet. Or maybe I'm just bad at writing the code efficiently. I have Odin, but wanted something small to pull in projects. So yeah, nice. Oh, dude, if you open source, I will totally jack it because I'm gonna get there soon. Well, I'll jack it and I'll steal your code. Let's see now with 2 jobs. Oh, why are we paused? Oh, I paused. Boop. Let's see if we fix the issue with the weird shit happening. Because by God, it's like, eventually this has to just be like, okay, we've got it. We've solved all the problems. It works. We can move on. Dear Jesus. Dear Spaghetti Monster. Dear Buddha. Dear somebody. Are you both... Okay, I was like, are you both you motherfuckers doing the same job at the same time? Let's see if... Now the real test. Can you mine? Of course you can't mine. Did you break? Why did you err? Although that was really good. You know, maybe you don't, but when you shoot a gun and it explodes in particles, how do you do that? There's a couple ways to do it, but you should... A lot of things you'll spawn... you can do 2 things. You can either shoot the bullet and do a raycast from the gun to the target immediately and do a raycast to see if you hit, and then if you hit, make have a prefab of like an explosion or whatever you do that fires. Or some games like Tarkov will do every bullet is an object, so it's a monobehavior object, or maybe not monobehavior, but it's an object that as it's fired from the gun, it's tracking its stats against the physics engine. And then when it hits, like it has a collider on it, so when it hits something, the colliders trigger and it does what it needs to do. That's actually a pretty easy one. Did that answer your question, or did you want to? Or were you talking about particle effects specifically? You're being extra salty this morning, Zach. We cry about the lines of code. Got to keep pumping lines. I've probably written over 1 million. Yeah, I've probably written a lot of code in my lifetime. But I'm not crying over it. I'm just saying it's 1,000 lines of code to do something that's super basic. Well, so if we put it in terms of time, then like that 1,000 lines of code probably took me 2 or 3 days, or maybe like a couple hours. When it's like 5 seconds in Odin Inspector to do the same thing you want to do. Not 5 seconds, but it's like orders of magnitude less time. So if I think about it from a time perspective of, are we using our time for the most valuable thing since we only have a limited amount of it? Oh, so particle effects you would do. Let's make a particle effect. Actually, we're not doing priority queue stuff, so let's do a particle effect thing here. Oh, I was like, what the fuck's going on here? Load that scene. And then let's make a game object. Particle system? Because it's been a while since I've done it. So you make the particle system. And then, so you make a particle effect, and then you tweak all these values for what you want. Like you put emissives, you can put sprites, you can do meshes. Like there's a whole bunch of things you can do, but you add a particle system to something, and then you basically get it to be the way you want it to. Like, let's see. And then you basically just futz with it forever. Yeah, you go through all this. But then you want to see how to... You want to... Read the manual. Cool. Well, link me up when you get it. Just shoot it, link to me on the Discord, and then I'll check it out. I appreciate it. Yeah, building a game using tutorials is awesome, man. Oh my goodness. The saltiest of the Zachatrons today. Let's save that. Go back into this. Close that out. Yeah, not knowing, like, that's the biggest thing is like, oh, no problem, Epic. Just not knowing how, what's there and what's not there until you, which you only get with, I don't know, I've only gotten it with experience. So once you do it, you learn, like, the first time you'll be like, oh, how does this work? And then you, if you have, like, game dev buddies, it's easy to ask, like, oh, how would you do this? And then they can tell you. But I didn't have any game dev buddies, so I, like, had to read and do tutorials. Like, I followed your path a lot, Eden. I did everything tutorialized while I started. Okay, so let's add mining. Mining is a little bit different with how it does its work. So it broke, which is good. Where did it... Why did you not break when I fucking... Why is this out of range? What was it trying to do? Oh, was this trying to move to something that wasn't movable? Maybe. Let's start with a smaller subset of mining then. That's why you watch tutorials forever. Hey, I'm sure they learned a bunch. And as long as they weren't going at it to, like, develop a game quickly. Okay, so since they're accessible, it's, like, totally fine. But is it because we're trying to do it outside of reachable? Okay, that's why. So it's not reachable. So this is a non-reachable job. I've gotten a lot of progress done. I've have procedural generation and animated player who walks. I'm doing emissive maps and Looney lighting. I have a basic UI for end of levels. I'm making all of my own assets, music. Yeah, dude, that's really awesome, Epic. Like, that's super fucking cool. Like, and what a good way to learn. But something wrong with a person who refuses to watch tutorials. Yeah, I mean, I've never met anyone that wouldn't. I don't think I've met anyone that wouldn't watch a tutorial. Like, I don't know why anyone would be like, no, I'm not gonna watch a tutorial. I mean, if someone told me how to do it, I might. No, I would always start with a tutorial because I would have no idea. I mean, I'm not the type that normally starts by just saying, oh, you would do it this way and then dive in. I always have to say when they say, oh, use a particle system. So then I would have to just Google Unity particle system to see where to start from. Because I can't even, when I don't understand how anything works, I don't even know where to start from. Like, I don't even know, like, how to make boilerplate versions of it. So yeah, I would always look something up. I can't even wrap my head around how somebody would just jump right in without knowing where to start, if that makes sense. What do you do, Zach? Are you a student? Or are you a teacher? Or are you, like, do you work on, is like the tank game like your full-time gig? If you don't mind me asking, of course. I'm just curious. Okay, so why did this error first? Let's start over. Put in an inaccessible mining location. And see what it does. But we're actually making progress, which is good. I feel like it seems like we are making progress. Which is nice. So we're gonna put in mining job for something inaccessible, and it breaks. Okay, cool. Is it like your day job too, though? Is my question, I guess. Because I feel like if I was, I mean, I'm aware, like if I did game dev as like my day job, I would totally ramp up faster. But that would mean I'd have to start at like a junior level because I would totally have to take a salary cut because I'm not good enough to be like a senior game dev. It's the same way as I'm a senior DevOps guy because I have all the experience on how to tackle like anything you throw at me on that end. It's like, oh, I've been there, I've done that. With like this stuff, it's all like greenfield for me. Oh, that's a bummer, dude. Then I got too chronically sick and just kept programming at home. Nice. That is awesome. Yeah, hopefully the bile duct gets, like, what's the treatment for fixing that? Like, there's got to be something they can do. Hopefully. I mean, once you get the gallbladder ripped out, it's like, fuck. Then you still have other stuff. It's like, lame. Okay, so we're putting in the job. We added the job here. It added two jobs? Certainly in one. Why does it say go mine twice? Yeah, it's only one job. I'm actually going to change this to now. If I change this to drop down, maybe this will be a little bit easier to grok. Let's see. That's on the game data, right? Jobs list. Let's see if it's a little bit better now. If I get better, I'll apply for jobs again. Well, I don't understand what's happening now. I lay down and something like sand comes through the bile duct area. I think it's pebbles. I've been on Apple Diet for 3 months. I'm breaking down the sludge. But that's so sucky that even after you got your gallbladder removed, it's still having issues. Like I've been super fortunate that, like, other than eating like fatty food gives me the shits. Like, sorry for too much information. Occasionally, like it's been pretty. Like I've been pretty fortunate to never have to feel that pain again. Although sometimes, like once or twice a year, I'll feel phantom gallbladder pain, and my wife's like, "How do you feel?" I'm like, "Dude, I feel like I have to lay down. It is painful." I was like, right where it is. I was like, I have no idea why it's working, but I'm having phantom gallbladder pain. I remember having pain anywhere. Okay, so let's see. Well, let's add a temp job. Make sure No, it's still job name. So it wasn't there to remove it. Where else would it have been? Oh, in game data. Duh. Load map source, that's right. And then loader. Oh, was it job class? Probably job class. Boop. And this should clear this because it's so hard to see what jobs are there because this fucking list takes up forever, so let's see if it gets better now. Okay, that's much fucking more workable. Cool. Like, I like the enum buttons, but man, that was really not great. And I think I'm gonna do the same thing for job state. Job class, where's job? Yeah, we're gonna do the same thing for job state. It just takes up too much like real estate on the screen for me to debug. File stones are small, tons of them. Clicks in. Yeah, he's been posting up screenshots. Like he's Epic's got a pretty neat idea. He's been sharing. Yeah, like let us know when you want to do a session. I'll totally get on Discord and watch you. But because I'm a visual learner too, it would be really neat to do if you want to set it up. Hop on and we'll organize it. It'll be awesome. The camera, clear the shit, do the thing, do the mining thing, doing a mine in the far away parts. Okay. There's one job that's a Go Mine job. It's in progress. Someone picked it up. So that's a flaw in the logic right there too. You shouldn't be able to pick up a job if it's inaccessible. So we got to fix that. So there's some changes we have to make. But at least these are like things that we see quickly, like what the issue is, instead of like, why the fuck is the guy shitting himself? I don't even have code for shitting himself. What's fucking happening here? So this feels much better to me. We added the job and she's just straight up taking the job. So we need to have some sort of check. Like you can't, if a job is inaccessible, you can't take it. Like that has to be something we check as we loop through the jobs. Well, I'm cleaning up my assets now. As I said, once I have my new assets in place and my game looks prettier, I'll definitely hop on maybe this weekend. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. I'll work around whatever works around for Zach. The weekend is totally better for me because I actually don't have to work. So, I mean, unless something breaks. So it's easier for me to coordinate. So whatever is good for Zach, I'd love to check it out too. That'd be really cool. Yeah, because I need to see, yeah, and I need to find time to watch you when you stream, Zach. I'll see if I can sneak. I noticed you might be streaming once when I'm at work, and then I could watch you. Because it's like I stream, which is work for me, and then I work for work. And then I spend family time for a little bit, and then I go to bed, and then rinse and repeat. So the weekend's where my open time is. Okay, so this fucker needs to, when we're looping through, you can't just take a job that's inaccessible. That's no bueno. Still waiting to be picked up. I think it would here too, because we moved into the check. Okay, so we need to do in the column job holder, we need to eliminate any jobs that are inaccessible first. Like you can only do jobs that you can reach, and if it's inaccessible, then fuck you. Fuck you. And my camera's at a weird angle, so I can't like flip off. Like my zone is like over here, so I gotta flip off with the right hand, but it's like I can't, you know, it's weird. Okay. So we probably already have a helper function that'll tell us if his job is accessible. I think. Probably in the job queue manager. maybe. Like, I'd be surprised if we don't have something that says that the job's accessible. We've got walkable neighbor, I think is what it does. Let's see. Because when we do move to, we check to see. The move to code has code that checks walkability, so we should be able to see what we do there and duplicate it and jack what we have there. My walkable neighbors. Has move location been set? It's right here, so we're doing any walkable neighbors. So we're doing get walkable neighbors. Let's see what that is in Map Atlas. Walkable neighbors. Perfect. Yeah, no, I feel you. I quit Twitch for a while back in 2015. So it's been like 5 years. I quit because I had terrible internet, so it was like I couldn't stream because everyone's like, your frames are potato, which sucked because I was growing I'd grown my channel to more than I have now. It was like I'd have like almost 80 people, like a pretty good size of people, but they're way different than this crowd. Like this crowd is more like technology. That they were very much roleplay driven crowd. Which if I get back into roleplay, maybe they'll come back again to see, you know, Mr. Garibaldi, the Biscuit Man. Yeah. Well, if you show Zach personally, make sure you send time for me. Dude, I haven't played Dungeons and Dragons in a long time, so if we want to organize playing, like, so Quill 18 used to do this thing called Sunday Morning Heroes, where it was him and his mother-in-law and Demonic and his Briarstone. So they would do like D&D every morning, and it was awesome on Sundays, and I loved it. And I haven't done D&D in so long. I would totally be down if we want to set up something to play on like the weekends, like a role-playing stream. Because I was talking about role-play in like GTA RP, like first-person role-play, but I would totally love D&D as well. Like I really like D&D. So this returns a get walkable neighbors. So let's see, any walkable neighbors. This is the one. Pass in Vector 2, check all the neighbors, and see if it's walkable. So if this isn't walkable, this is the one we should call for the job system. Because we should call any walkable neighbors, and if there's no walkable neighbors for a job, then the job can't be picked up at the time. Is that really the only spot that uses it? Okay, cool. We're gonna add this check, and let's, yeah, this totally is already defined. We're gonna loop through the jobs list here. So it would be if job state is created, or job has already been worked, leave, and if it's not walkable. If job state is not equal to created, and underscore job. What do you pass into this fucker? Oh, it's a vector 2, dummy. Vector 2, you fucking moron. Vector 2, you sack of garbage. Okay, there we go. A little hard on myself, I know. And this would say if true, yeah, if true. So if it's not created and welcome neighbors is true, continue. If not, you can't fucking pick up a job that is unpickupable. You can't reach an unreachable job? Let's Twitch bet, spend points, interact with their camp champion. That would be cool. No, that's a good idea. Like, I would totally be down with that. Like, Twitch chat gets to decide what I do. That would be cool. If you want to, like, I don't even know how to organize that. Like, who would be the dungeon master? And, like, what we do is, like, Roll20, or is there a better, like, online D&D tool set to use than Roll20 or whatever? Because I know at least one guy that would probably play with me. But he's in Texas, so it would be weird trying to... We'd have to find an interesting time that works for, like, the UK, the UK, and the North Americas. But I would totally be down. I would love to do that. I can nerd out. It'll be fun. No, I mean, I'm down for whatever. Like, it'd be fun to do D&D for sure. Like, I'm going to do other roleplay as well, like GTA RP, but I totally would do D&D as well. Like, the last time I played D&D was probably 2013. We played at work at Media Temple. And then we stopped playing because, this is going to sound funny, we had 3 DMs, and every time through the campaign, the 3 DMs eventually all got fired one by one. And the last guy was the VP of engineering. So we're like, okay, no more Dungeons & Dragons because it's cursed. The DM's going to get fired, and none of us wanted to be the DM. It was funny. But yeah, would it be like Roll20? Is there a better option at least to at least set up how everything works? Because I'd be down. Like, I'd be down to fucking rent a DM, you know? Actually, I have a friend that would probably be able to help. He's done DM stuff before. So let's test. Can we put a mine job in here that doesn't break everything? Because it's not pick-upable. No, it still fucks up. Okay. Well, that's a bit of a fucking problem there, buddy. Job is in progress. It's not in progress. Hold on, did I fuck up the conditions? If job start is not created, and if it's not created, we'll continue. If it's not created, and this is false, right? So if walkable neighbors is false, we're gonna skip, and if this is not created, we'll skip. Okay, so that I had the logic backwards because I'm dumb. Easy. And absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. I will be a rogue, and I will be backstabby. I like rogue or ranger, or paladin. Actually, there's a lot of things I like. I'm not super great with magic-y stuff because I don't know. I just never really like. I like magic users when you play like Pathfinder, Kingmaker, or games like that. But role playing as a mage or cleric is always harder for me. I'm more of a ranger, paladin. Ranger, paladin, rogue. I was like, what's the other one I was just trying to say? So we can add all. It still breaks, motherfucker. Okay, and where'd the music go? We've been through 13 hours of music already? Nice. Very nice. Let's start at the beginning. Boop. Battle maps. Okay. Let's check the job list. They should... Motherfucker, why are you in progress, you sack of potatoes? Ready for claim. Why did it go to ready for claim? Okay, let's look at the code again. We're being dumb, right? Job is not created. Oh, it's and. It should be or. Dumb fuck. If it's not created and it's not created, this is the condition we want to pass through. And then this would be the condition we want to pass through. So if it's not created, which we already know, so just ignore the created because we already fucking know that. So we would say if this is going to return true. So if true, continue, which we want it to be. If false, continue. So yeah, it just had to be an or. My favorite character is a schizophrenic warlock who thinks he's a cleric. He gets to use both type of magic. Oh, that's interesting. I want to find a way to... I'm really surprised the lawyer found a way to talk his way into a custom build with extra powers. I'm very persuasive in my arguments. You just got lawyered. And now we're cooking with fucking gas. It's not accessible, so we're not going to pull. But if we put one here, then those jobs should instantly become accessible. I hope. As soon as he picks it up, the other guy should start moving too. Okay. Not per. Oh, so it's almost like. Oh, I think we had an issue before, which I just remembered, is that these are still not. Their reachability zones aren't being reset. Okay. So it thinks. It knows that it can reach it because the neighbor's accessible, but it's not updating properly when it removes the text to redo the reachability zones. So that's something we can look at now. Let's make sure we write it down, what we're working on, because I think we're in a good place with the job system, like working right. Let's do a couple non-mountainy tests, like make sure we can build buildings and make sure everything just kind of works and nobody, like, as long as the pawns don't freak the fuck out and stop working, then I'll feel like we've made some good progress. And then we're gonna build a wall. Yeah, they're doing the opposite of getting the closest fucking job. So I probably have the logic backwards, would be my guess. It's like, hey Bobby, can you go down the street to the fucking liquor store right on the block and get me some liquor? And he's like, comes back 3 hours later, like, oh, I went to the one down the street, like 2 towns over. Like, motherfucker. It's good times. Written up on Discord? Nice. And he's terrible and he's very, very role dependent. Oh, I'll see it now. Don't go inside. There you go. Did you actually rotate that fucking tile, right? No, what? No, you didn't. That's not working. That code doesn't work. But we'll test again for sure right now. Okay, my rotate code does not work. Good. So we've gotten, I feel like, let's not feel and let's fix. That one guy's going to be stuck inside because he's now in an unreachable area. He's trapped inside. That's his life now, living inside of there. The bushes dropping wood instead of tomatoes, that's a bug, but I don't really care about that. Did you get fucked up? Why aren't you moving anymore? Oh, because he's assigned to that job and he's actually not reachable. So that needs to be a change we make too, that if the colonist has to be, we'll get to that later. Let's register it as a bug though. When a pawn tries to, pawn can get assigned a job that is unreachable. They get into a fucked up state. For instance, you put a pawn inside of a room with a locked door, which that'll be a thing, and that will account for what's happening now without having to say we've got a bug that they can't path through doors right now. So if you put a pawn inside a room with a locked door, they are still getting assigned a job they can't reach. Then they get into a wonky state. So we should also have, while we're doing that, we should also set up a way to make sure when a pawn gets into a weird, like, how do we make sure when a pawn's he's been assigned a job that he's never gonna be able to do, like, that eventually he just kicks that thing back. If he can't get it done, he needs to kick that back into the queue. Like stone a thing, like, that's what I'm thinking about it in terms of like I do for work, like a heartbeat. Like if he's tried the job like a couple times and it doesn't work, then push it back, which is why I think I had a try count on the jobs. have jobs that are not done in a certain amount of tries. Requeue jobs that can't be done. Have jobs that are not done a certain amount of time. Tries get re-added to the front to the jobs list. Example, a colonist, a pawn tries to do a job. They are locked in a room. They need to throw the job back into the queue, because if we do this one right now, then the situation we have in the game right now where there's a job to be done and this fucking guy's trying to do it, like if we had logic that would say, okay, Bobby over here is not fucking doing his job, like kick that shit back up, then he would take it and say, oh, I got it, you know, I got this. So we should be able to knock that out pretty quick. But for our campaign, since we're all noobs, I'd say 5e. Yeah, 5e's fine. Like, I don't remember the rule. Well, I know that 5e is what Pathfinder is based off Pathfinder. So yeah, 5e would probably be fine, because that's what they're basing the new Baldur's Gate off, right? Is 5e. So I'd be cool with that. Sorry, Dream Team, but I must go to bed now. Have a good night, Zach. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you feel better, sir.
Bye-bye.
Hit me up on Discord whenever. It'll be fun to keep in touch and talk outside of stream. Like, that's the best part about you guys going on Discord, is like, if you want to talk, like, I'm there all day, and like we can fucking shoot the shit and just kind of build a community where we're friends, you know, we're just hanging out, doing our shit and seeing how each other's going. It'll be good times. Feel better, man. Get that apple cider vinegar. Okay, so we're gonna do this one now, and this is gonna be, I've never used fucking GitHub issues. I don't know, it's not as good as a Jira, but let's see. I'll assign it to me. Then I will start working on it. Okay. So let's see, how do we, to tackle that, which is good, we have like an hour left, so we should be able to knock this out. So we used to have job tries, try count, so we should probably re-add that again, right? Like we should, unless there's a better way to do it. I was thinking job try. Start at 0. Yeah, it just starts at 0, so you don't need to pass anything in. Try count's going to default to 0. And then, because if we look here in the logs, we should see him trying to do that job, right? Like he should be constantly trying to pull for that job, and then it doesn't work. Oh, my head is itchy. So that should work. Let's go into the prefab and make the greatest wool movie ever. Hey, thanks for hanging out, Epic. I appreciate it, man. Have a good night, sir.
Bye-bye.
So we're going to go into the prefab, and we're going to edit in a little building here that we can use as our test case for stuff. We're going to put it on the wall layer. Do it in prefab mode for sure, so it doesn't lock my whole fucking editor up. Please, thanks. We're going to pick that guy. It's going to take a second because it has to do like bit by bit. Oh, can I do 2 at once? That's even better. Okay, cool. Oh no, motherfucker, don't. No, that is not what I wanted. Erase. You die. You die. Okay, so that's perfect. So we'll put a door there, we'll put a colonist there, put a door there, then we can test this retry system pretty easily. So let's do that. Start the game, put a colonist in there, build the door, and then work on the logic for retrying. So eventually we should get them kicked out. This is the goal. Boop, boop. One of you has to be in there. Actually, I'll put you both in there. You're both in there. Oh, I used to have code that would select them properly, but I have to redo the spline stuff because it is backed up at the moment. Okay, so you're gonna move there. And one of you is gonna put a door here. Motherfucker. Okay, so they'll both move out. So I'll put them both in, and then one of them will get stuck. Oh, I'll get it done, Epic. Thank you for doing it, though. Once again, I've returned. Well, you've returned, and the other two, the two British guys are going to bed, But where's your god now, Philip? Where's your god now? Fill the door. So now we're gonna say we have to add 2 jobs. Actually, we could probably, who is this person? Kimberly Kerman? No, that would you can just pause her. I'm gonna break something. Actually, no, don't do that. It'll probably break something. Don't be dumb. Let's just add 2 cut wood jobs at the same time. Because then that should say, the other one gets at least one of them. Or neither of them gets one of them. What's going on here? And who's the one locked up, by the way? It's Elisa. Okay. She's got assigned this first job. And this one is created. And this one's in progress. And these 2 are both assigned to the job manager. For some reason, this one's not doing anything, but that's fine. So let's see. Checking the hex is walkable over and over and over again. Okay. And that's part of... This is the jobs checker checking this stuff. Okay. Which we don't need to constantly output that. I don't necessarily always want that to log. If it's true. And log is true. If log's true, say whatever you want. If not, don't fucking do that. And then we'll change the job puller here, pass in and say false. We don't want all those logs, but that's beside the point. We care about the colonist doing stuff. So it hit her. So she should be she's in a loop for Go Garden Tree, right? She in Go Garden Tree or she moved to? Her move to says she's done, but she's not fucking done. By any stretch. And I wonder if it said it was done because it just couldn't move there. So I was like, no, you're done. Let's see. Let's restart, build the door. I have no god over me. There's just me, the Attorney of the Void. Well, what you should do is get started on your Fiverr stuff again so you can keep pushing it. How did you find that first lady, by the way? Did you do it on like Craigslist or something local to you guys? Facebook. Nice. I like it. Okay, so we're making good progress today now, which is good. We've resolved a lot of the issues we're having. Now we're actually, all the magically broken stuff is fixed, and we're now just working through like standard issues of like, hey, we need to port this thing. put you inside there too. Oh, I paused it. Duh. Put you inside here. And build a door. What? What happened there? Waypoint reached. Was it because I was too close? Okay. That's a bug for a later date. Still making plans, something necessary here in Germany. You're still making plans? Is that what you're saying? You had a comma. So I'm assuming you meant plans. What are the plans for? Over here you can see the Pathfinder. We're gonna build a door. Boop. Is neither of you really gonna build the door? They're both set by the job manager. It's created, but it's not picked up yet. Why isn't it picked up yet? Does it think it's not walkable? Try that again. That's weird. What are your pans for, Philip? For frying? Frying pans? Or frying plans? Who are you frying? And what they do to make you fry them? Did we do something? So what are the plans for? Like, what are you planning out for the Facebook stuff? If that's what you were talking about. I just do something to... Man, how fragile is this? Why isn't the job picking up? What did I break in the job holder when I just touched something? It totally seems like it broke, like I broke something. Like, you broke it. Did I fuck something up? It's a very real possibility. Oh, it's only doing this shit if it's... Oh, haha, my bad. I'm like, oh, it's just logging here. It's actually setting if the fucking thing is walkable. I'm dumb. So this can be if log. Like, why is this shit broken? How did I break? What a fragile piece of shit. Well, when you comment out the code that does the work, that could cause a problem. I wrote a business plan with our products, consumer analysis and stuff. Nice. Well, I need to get that money from the government. Need that. Oh, so you're going to try to get money from the government. So are you working on that yet? That's only blocked on you getting off your ass and doing it, right? I'm not trying to sound mean, but get off your ass and do it. If you need help, I'll help you. If you need like a rubber duck, you know, rubber duck to me, just talk to me in German. I'll be like, so good. Like, you're so mad, but I love it. One of my other good buddies, he's a German, but he lives in, I think Norway or Sweden, one of the Scandinavian countries now. But he's totally a German. He's a really good guy. I worked on game stuff with him before when I was using Advanced Tactics. I think, if I recall, his name was Eric. Was it Eric? It might have been Eric. But it was good times. Okay, so we're gonna build the door now. It's gonna actually work, right? Boop. Someone should make the door. Yep. So now one of them is trapped, one of them is not. We're gonna then say, chop some wood, and it should. I have to fix this too, by the way, the mouse pointer shit. One of them should do the job, and the other one's in a fucked up state now. Perfect. Okay. So once this job is done, let's see. Okay, good. What they're doing. So she's constantly pulling the distance. Okay. And then, so inside of move, go garden tree. She already said the move to is done though? What the fuck, girl? That's fucking fucked up, girl. That's not the way that is. Okay, let's see what happens. Because she shouldn't have gone out of the move to, so it's interesting. She fell out of the move loop. She's Kimberly, right? She's the one. No, Jalicia. Jalicia. So yeah, that's Jalicia. So she fell out of the move loop after she moved her thing. Where's Jalicia's stuff? What up, New Duck? Good morning, and how are you doing, sir or madam? Hello? Hello, hello. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the Programming is Fun Club. So, this is Jaleesa falling out of it, well, moving to the tree. I'm doing good, just optimizing, debugging my API. Awesome, pretty good. We're working on a RimWorld Dwarf Fortress Firefly game with the looks of RimWorld, the depth of Dwarf Fortress, and kind of in the Firefly-ish universe. A discount Firefly universe so that I don't get sued. But we're working right now, and we've gotten the random terrain generation done. We've got the pawns there. We're just working on the work system, getting that ironed out. Then we'll start adding more features. Yeah, it should be pretty interesting. Like, if you love... the reason I did it is because I did this when RimWorld first came out, and it was not very feature complete. And I remembered how much I love Dwarf Fortress. I was like, hey, if this guy could do it, I could do it too. So, yeah, it's been pretty good. Yeah, check out the Discord. We can hang out. It'll be good times if you're interested in it. As we move along, I'll get builds out to you guys shortly. I just need to get the work system fleshed out. Like, it is such a core component of how the whole game works that it has to kind of be not bug-free, but it needs to work like majority of the time, or else it's going to be just very frustrating. I'm fixing the many bugs I'm finding. Nice. No, that's the way of the world. What are you making your API in? You know, Node, Feathers, or what? I'd like a way for colonists to have a log button to just shut them up. So I'm going to add that real quick because I'd like to see once this pawn is outside the door. I don't want to hear her logs because I don't want it to be crowding out what I'm trying to see. If that makes any sense. Although I could just say, I could add the name to all these bits and pieces and then just search for the name. Yeah, let me do that. Let me just search for the name. Just add the name to all these. Then it can filter by it. Node plus Python. Oh, nice. Yeah, we use Node for our daily driver for all of our API stuff. What's the Python piece for? Like, why isn't it all just straight up Node and Feathers and stuff? Just if you don't mind me asking. Just curious. So let's look through any utils, and we'll add a stock game object name for everything. Cool. Anything we log out. Every message should have the pawn's name in it so we can debug. Python is for video processing, making a video. Oh, gotcha. Oh, translate text into sign language. Holy fuck. I didn't see that part. That's fucking awesome, dude. Wow. Node is the web server and hosting and the API shit. Okay. Well, I'm adding API shit because I'm imagining that's what it's for. That's really neat. What are you using? Are you using Feathers for your Node API or are you using something else? If you don't mind me asking, of course. Path. I can show you if you want, just doing an Express server. Cool. I mean, if you want to link up, sure, link it up. That'd be cool. I'm not a Node expert or anything. I just know we use it at work. I know enough to like cause problems, like to debug when I need to. Excuse me. I have a wide breadth of experience, but my depth is a little lacking at times. We're just debugging. What we're trying to do right now is we can get into situations where a colonist is getting a job assigned that, or a pawn's getting a job assigned that they can't actually do. So what we're going to add code now to track that and then break them out of that. If a job is tried X number of times and you can't get it done, kick it back to the queue and let some other colonist get it. Because when the time it was assigned to you, maybe you could actually get it. But maybe something's happened, like your door got locked or something, so you can't get the job anymore. So we're gonna fix that. Hey, thank you for the follow, Duck. I appreciate it. And that's my daughter saying that. You can't have too many tacos, for sure. I put in a very hard series of things. Oh, it might be stuck. Well, back to the drawing board. Let me bookmark it. Very cool though. That's awesome. Are you doing it like for your, is it like a hobby project? Or are you doing it for a company? Like, just curious. Game object.name. Motion failed. Perfect. Okay. Now we should be able to at least search for the girl that's locked up and then find all of her log entries to see what she's doing. Hobbyish. Here's an example of a finished video. Nice. Does it just, do you just have a catalog of this guy making all the different signs so you spell it? Nice. Yeah, it didn't autoplay, but it's cool. It should do a lot of things. Hey, my code should do a lot of things too, so I understand. Sometimes your code just doesn't cooperate with you. So no worries. I'm not judging you. So let's clear the logs, lock the camera, make a door. Boop. Someone's gonna hear, might make the door. Let's clear the logs again. Let's chop it of wood for both these guys. Oops, she's done. Okay. So she's Jalecia, right? No, Kimberly. So Jalecia is the one that's... Jaleesa is the one that has shit to do this time. Let's find all the Jaleesas. Perfect. Okay. Job tree assigned. Honest assigned a job. Job fired. Data's in progress. Job moved to. Yeah, just wondering, where do you live? Like country-wise, not specific. I live in the United States, in South Florida. If you can think Miami, like I'm that Miami area. The Miami metro region. What about you? I'm guessing somewhere in the UK based on the fact that you default to the British Sign Language. See, I got deductive reasoning. I'm like Sherlock Holmes. But since I'm American, it could be like Sherlock Homey or something, I don't know. Deductive reasoning. It's setting there, it's moving to destination. And then pathing successful is false. So she didn't find a path, so she's just like... So she just fell out of the move loop, because like I can't get here. She just straight up like, nope, I'm done. How did she fall out of the fucking move loop? That doesn't make sense. What? How did you do that? How does one accomplish such a thing? If my distance is greater than that delta time. So how did you fall out of here? You would only fall out if your distance is greater than 0. Well, if your distance becomes 0 and you're moving to destination, it's toggled. It doesn't look like it did. The UK's Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, has a son? Like an illegitimate son that they just found? Because I don't remember him being married. But he does have a girlfriend, right? So I guess, was she pregnant or just like illegitimate son? He was so sad that his papa was almost dying from the COVID-19. Oh, she gave birth. Okay, cool. I didn't realize she was even pregnant. Shows how much I pay attention to the yuck news. The first... Holy Jesus Christ. Thank you for the raid, Dowright. Welcome to the Whisper Brigade Raiders. Let's give you a shout out. Oh my goodness. Streamer Dowright? What were you working on this morning, Dowright? And welcome, Raiders. We're working on a RimWorld. And thank you for the follow, and welcome to the Whisper Brigade, Dragon.
Welcome to the
as said by my 5-year-old daughter. So we're working on a RimWorld game, style game, but with the depth of Dwarf Fortress, multiple Z levels so you can build underground bases, and kind of a Firefly world. We're just working on some of the core work system right now. Just some Python stuffs. Oh, that's awesome. Are you a member of the Live Coders, or are you just randomly like RimWorld? Nice. What Python stuff? And if you have to go, that's fine. I was just curious what you were doing. He always works on Python for his firewall. Oh, nice. Are you making like your own open source firewall? Or is it just like a custom firewall? I'd imagine it would be open source, right? That's cool. Do you have the source? Oh, no, this is not PHP. This is C#. Nice. You want to shoot a link to it? That'd be cool to check out. I'm always down for like new, things that might do better than IP tables or whatever the hell the new hotness is called now. Yeah, I like C# too. Downright TTV. Nice. Stone Cold Killer. Boo boo. DNX Firewall, I'm guessing? No, I cuss all the time and I'm in Live Coders, so you should try it. I mean, I specifically put in there, like, I swear way too much. So you can't hurt to try. Like, I'm pretty sure I've already said fuck like 2 or 3 times while you're in here. And I'm totally not safe for work. Pure Python next-gen firewall built on top of the Linux net filter. Nice. This would be cool. We do a lot of, we just use a lot of the... Do you have Ansible support for it? Did you make an Ansible module? Thank you for the follow, narrator. Welcome to the Biscuit Brigade. And there's a Q there, but I'm just going to say narrator. Narcator. Narcator. Welcome to the Biscuit Brigade. Holy mackerel, thank you so much. I appreciate it. That was scary. It scared me in my ears. I need like a thanks.
Thank you for subscribing.
There. That scared you hopefully as much as it scared me, those bits. Those biddies on my titties. So we're working on debugging an issue right now where we have the pawns get jobs and they get work to do. So I've simulated a... Hey, thank you for the follow, Dazer91. Welcome to Biscuit Brigade.
Welcome to the Biscuit
My,
Brigade.
I'm simulating locking this person inside of a room so that they can't path out to do this job here. And so we're working on implementing the system where after a certain number of failed attempts, the job will get kicked back into the queue so that someone like this pawn can do it. Thank you for the follow, Dow, right? I appreciate it. Welcome to the Biscuit Brigade.
The Biscuit Brigade.
And I'll totally, it doesn't have much external support at the moment since I'm just trying to get it out and stable. So far, so good. I have a beta syslog client. Yeah, like I would always use, all the stuff I use is either Ansible or like Puppet based just to configuration manage everything. Yeah, that would be cool. I don't know, maybe if I find any spare time for another hobby project, I can look at it. Because it would be cool to, like if it works cool and like the biggest thing I think you'd have with adopting it is just making sure it supports like Ansible or Puppet in a way that people can roll it out. And then it like lowers your friction to getting people to start using it in enterprise. Because one, it's going to be new, so you're gonna have a hard time there. But if you make it easy for them to like, oh, there's an Ansible module for it, and they can just run this code to deploy it on their boxes, like that would be tits. What do you do? What does it do better than the stock firewall? Like, what are its pros and cons? Sorry for the 20 questions. If you have to go. I'm just curious of like, what's your like? Here's why you should use this and not the stuff that comes with the Linux kernel by default. Hey Dragon, yeah, I'm a DevOps engineer too, so that's why I'm like, that's the things I'm like, well, if I wanted to use this at work, like what would I need to know about it? And like, why would I even consider it? Sorry, and I'm not trying to sound like a dick. I totally am, like, I'm sure you've thought of that if you're like trying to think of like the same thing for this game is like, well, why would anyone even want this game? It's like, well, do you like Dwarf Fortress and you feel like the UI is so hard that every time you leave for 5 minutes to get lunch, you come back and forget all the keys? Thank you for the follow, Master of Duchess. Welcome to this brigade. So we've got, so it's like, oh, well, this has a better UI, but it's going to have the depth of Dwarf Fortress. And if you like RimWorld, but you like don't like the fact that, thank you for the follow, Weed Panic. I don't like Weed Panic either, but more weed helps that, you know.
Welcome to the Biscuit Brigade.
But this will have like multiple Z levels. So if you like RimWorld, but you miss the ability to build bases underground, like this will be the game for you. Why do you want me to play games again? Because games, life is a series of games. A good game is like, the thing that I really like most about Dwarf Fortress and RimWorld to a lesser extent is like the story generation. So this is going to be a story generator when it's done. Like shit's going to happen that you're going to, for instance, in Dwarf Fortress, had a fortress. One of my viewers has a fortress, had orcs come in, move into the camp. They coexisted peacefully till one day a dwarf got drunk and ripped an orc stripper's throat out and then started like a race war. Like that's the kind of like, I want that kind of emergent gameplay here where we put these pieces in place for telling stories and we just let it go and see what happens. And, you know, people, it'll be successful if like one person comes in and like tells me some crazy story that I never thought was even possible. Like, oh, a pawn came and he fucking, his cat died, so he just got drunk and then he got naked and he walked into a lake and drowned himself. Like something like that. Like the fuck, how's it even a thing? I'm actually big with RimWorld. Yeah, I really, really like RimWorld a lot. It's a very good game. The Matrix has you. Life is a playground. I think you fell asleep. IP tables is technically just a stateful filter or how it's usually configured. I do full DNS proxy inspection and I upgrade UDP DNS to TLS so it's encrypted. Dude, that's fucking awesome. And all of it's signatures based, so you don't need firewall rules. It just blocks the signature categories you enable in the direction you want, and it will dynamically change as the internet changes. Dude, that's fucking awesome. Dude, that sounds fucking tits. Like I work at a little real estate startup now, so I'm underwater with everything I need to do for my day job, but like that sounds actually pretty cool if we secure the next round of funding we're working on, which is always doubtful now with Charmin 19 out there, we might be able to start hiring more people, and then I can take a more leadership-y role instead of having to do all the work. And then I could explore other things like that. Sorry for the weird nomenclature. I apologize. So yeah, we're trying to debug right now how to get this colonist or this pawn so that she'll kick a job back. Since she can't get the job done, she'll kick the job back out and then let this other colonist take care of it. But it looks like she's stuck. She was set to move to the location and then the pathing failed, which is fine because there would be no path found. Like that's just the way it should work. And then job move to. Yeah, there will be no path found. Like, yeah. It got kicked out of here. And then then it said the step was complete, which isn't right. Okay. So you randomly move here. So we're not actually checking if the pathing was successful. We're just still falling through. We need to check that the colonist actually gets a route. Because that's one bug we need to fix right now. Is that we're assuming when you call a new move that the place you're calling is pathable, and we're not actually checking if it's not. So we need to fix that. That's important to do. Before we call the new move, we actually have to make sure this actually tells the pawn to move, to go there. And that's a separate thread. Like this is inside of a coroutine. So we need to check if this is pathable before we even get to the point where we trigger a move off of it. And I think we're already saying they couldn't find an appropriate path, right? The person could not find an appropriate path. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not a a dev security ops guy, but Downright has been hooked on security stuff. Yeah, I'm not really a security guy either, other than I know that you always have to have that in the back of your head or you're going to get fucked eventually. I'm targeting consumer SMBs for the commercial version, but should be able to get all that for like $150 plug and play. That's actually not bad. Just plug and play, just like a little switch you'll run on like a fucking Arduino or Raspberry Pi or something, or but I'll be hopping on with my phone. Nice. I haven't played games in 6 years. I mostly do work every day, or I'll be moving apartments. No, I understand. Cool. Well, thanks for stopping by, Kato. I appreciate it. Thanks for everyone that's watching, and hopefully some of this is interesting. You know, there's a Discord. We can talk more about the stuff off stream as well. And I appreciate you guys all hanging out. I'm gonna go grab some food. Have a good time. Thank you for the raid, Dalright. I really appreciate it. I will, another time, streamer raid shout out for Dalright because he's awesome. I need to add you to my list to raid back for being awesome. Boop. Let me make a note. Wow. Okay, cool. No, I really appreciate the raid. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, so why is this past successful is false? So yeah, she's seeing move to this true. And this is saying it's in progress because she's trying to move here. Yeah, before we set the job to in progress, we really need to make sure the colonists can actually get there first. Well, no, so we do need to make sure the colonists can get here first, but the thing we really want to do is make sure if a job fails that it kicks back and gets totally reset to its beginning state, which is like this would go from done to not started, and this would go from in progress to not started, and then it unassigns Jalecia and puts it back in the global jobs queue. So let's do that first, and then we can fix the bug that we just discovered. That, but let's make a note of it that we need to make sure that before we assign a new move, a colonist has to have a pathable route. Before we kick off a move to, need to verify the path is walkable. Because we don't want them to walk there if they don't have a route there. That would be dumb. Oh no. Yeah, I know. Sorry. Yeah, I know that's always fun when you get raided and then your channel, you think you're talking to your old channel and you're not. Sorry. Let's see. Why is this happening? So yeah, before we fix that other path, we're gonna at least say, where can we inject some code that'll check the number of tries? And then why did this even fall out of the loop for her? Oh no, I understand. I have the same issue. I like hang out in my channel when I'm offline is like, cause it's just IRC, right? So sometimes there'll be people that will just hang out all day and we'll just shoot the shit. If not here, on Discord anyway. I hope you guys are all having a good night or morning in my case. Let's see. I wouldn't do it on stream, but yeah. Potentially. Maybe. Depending on where I live. Let me look it up. The song name is... Hey, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome to the Biscuit Brigade. As said by my daughter. Who's the real MVP? Like the new emotes I added, they're gonna be all of her artwork of like an Arctic fox and a dog, and as she's like, oh, can you put this somewhere? I was like, sure, I'll put it on the channel. It'll be awesome. I just have to wait for Twitch to approve them. Because I'm only an affiliate, so they take been like a couple days, but they said it's because they're having staffing issues because of Charmin 19. In progress, 72. What is your malfunction? Pathing is false. The one path found, and that's inside of the moving object. Okay, so that's her trying to move there and not working. And here's where we call the move to here and the get distance. She's inside of the walking loop. Right there. That's moving object. Where's moving? Go to move. So she's inside of it here, where she's checking for it. And then here she falls out of the go to loop, which is weird. Why would you fall out of the loop? Your distance is greater than 0, which you should see job move to name right there, right? She was trying to move. Oh, and then the path went unsuccessful. So I bet when the path went unsuccessful, it sets her to one path found. It sets her, if it's unsuccessful, it would kill the move. which is why she gets kicked out of the loop. If path is unsuccessful, path successful else 3 or 4. Oh, like right in here. So the path wasn't successful. If it's not successful, then moving to this thing's false. So that's why she's getting kicked out of the job. Okay, that's good. So that means before that happens, she's assigned to a job. If assigned to a job, kick the job back into the queue. So instead of it being a count system, it could just be if you're trying to path the job and it doesn't work, re-add that job back to the queue. So let's find where we do that in Job Queue Manager. Where is Job Queue Manager? Where are you? Jarman 19, baby. Yeah, hopefully you guys are all having a fun time being safe and isolated. Thanks for hanging out, though. I appreciate it. And thanks for all the new follows today. It has been super duper fun. Let's see. Where's this guy? No, not that one. Yeah, I actually love being like I'm a total introvert, so being alone is like my jam every day anyway. So it's not bad at all. Ah. And let's see. It's coming up on my my cutoff time for the day. And since this is getting into like a bigger project, I'm going to go and I'm going to host Dean Hall, who is the creator of DayZ. He's an awesome dude. I appreciate all the follows, the subscriptions today. You guys are awesome. We'll be back the same time tomorrow. Hang out, pop into the Discord if you want to hang out, and we'll be back more with programming tomorrow. Thank you for the host, Dalright. You're awesome. I will see you guys tomorrow.